show up either. What is going on?
You should.
It's not going to be Loy. Bigatron, especially if we're talking about Moreno, it's just always been banned, yeah. So, again, Moreno, Valentina. Last year, Snapdragon, he popped off on this Valentina, and it seems like he just keeps on improving on the Valentina. So it's no surprise that they're going to prio this over other mages. Plus, versus style, right? If we're talking about Valentina, the IMU just brings a lot of pressure.
There are whispers that are saying that Moreno will be the next Suns.
Whoa, okay.
Whispers, just whispers.
Skipping
Not
over a boy?
personal opinion, skipping over a boy.
All right.
So we'll see though, with the Novaria and the Yuzong picked up as well. Natan is the answer.
Today we haven't seen the Natan really finding too much success, so that is a bit of a concern if you're a Bigatron fan. The Lori actually was banned out earlier. Now with that, the Alpha as well will be respected from Bigatron. The Evos using this flexibility, whereas Bigatron already immediately showing out their cards, wanting that Fredrin, that extra bit of sustain, that extra bit of crowd control and damage. The flexibility that Supercan is so good at using to change his kind of play style depending on the composition.
Wow. Bigatron, what will they go for here for their last ban? They banned out a hero for Annabelle. Seems like they will commit to another Annabelle ban. And with that, Nolan saying, yeah, we'll try to limit you as much as possible. So what will Annabelle go for here in the second phase? Just say utility jungler, I suppose?
There's a lot of options, honestly, for Annabelle, right? If we take a look at his hero pool, it's super wide. Boxia, Fredrin, Alpha, Fanny, Nolan, Dyra, Joy, Barretts, Carmilla, Ling, Lancelot.
Wow.
What do you think suits the best in this composition?
In this composition, I feel like some utility would be nice right here to really help the team out. Some AoE perhaps, because right now, there's a lot of ways for Evos to just go in brute force, but there's no way for them to really guarantee that Bigatron will stick around and go for a fight. For Bigatron though, they've taken the CC. That's usually matched up with the X-Borg, similar play.
Fanny, Nolan, Dyra, Joe.
What will they go for here for their last?
Response to that after banning away the Paquito.
Let's see. A hero for Dreams and a hero for Annabelle. Against this composition, what's the option here? Do they go for Barretts? They go for Minotaur for Dreams. So that's big counter engage as well as the Boxia.
Alright, no surprises for the side of Dreams, right? He really likes the Minotaur. And if you really think about it, Minotaur is somehow a complete roamer. You can heal, you can crowd control, and they're quite tanky after a couple of items. So it's quite complete in that sense.
You just lack a bit of mobility. That will be the one downside for Evos, but at the same time, they have a Black Dragon form, they have the Boxia, they have a lot of mobility already baked in, and ooh, the Franco for Key.
Yeah.
We haven't seen this in quite a while.
And technically, Moreno on the Valentina can facilitate the Franco as well with the Novaria, with Evo's Legends, Evo's Glory.
Adding more hitbox, or changing more hitbox with the also Minion Fury can actually be taken away
Exactly.
with Valentina, all up to Moreno.
It's all up to him, and he's very creative and
Hello,
he's
hello,
very
hello, test.
offensive as well on the Valentina, one of his power heroes as well. But for the side of Evo's, comfort all around. Fluffy gets his Yuzong. We do see Klokken, who's been able to steal so many objectives under the nose of his opponents with the Novaria, and Brands with the Harith. It's a battle of comfort, but it looks like Evos are looking for more of in that early game. But they also have late game potential as well with the Novaria. So We're gonna dive deep into the land of Dawn before we dive deep into the compositions with Arashi. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 1 between the White Tigers and the Red Robots. Looking for a dystopian future and looking to push more into the upper bracket.
Very early on, Key already just forced to back away right here. His attempts to really slow down the jungle clearing speed isn't exactly successful. Showing again the difficulties. You still want to try and be pesky and try and reset or delay that buff. In the EXP lane, it's going to be quite a skill matchup between Sorizo and Fluffy. And technically the Golden as well, there's going to be a lot of eyes there to try and see how this matchup plays out. Because both of the goal laners right here are not going for any kind of defensive emblem setups. They both want that Bargain Hunter to try and get the power spike as fast as possible.
You take a look at Moreno as well in his emblem choices. He's looking for much more cooldown. What kind of gameplay is he hinting at here?
High mobility, impact in the fights by just spamming spells out. And he went for the Impure Rage as well to try and help with the mana issues potentially. No Quantum Charge though, so he can't really kite as efficiently. But Annabelle, whoa!
Actually, caught here. Oh my god. Without the shield unit and not even level 4. Annabelle will be punished in the jungles of the Red Robots. Good spot there by Supercan.
So aggressive and already happening all under 2 minutes. And that's when most of the damage really spikes in for those who go in for the enemy jungle. Was it the best of decisions?
It was a bit hasty, and the backup from his team really wasn't around either. Now look at this mid lane. Woo! Bigatron already making the aggressive moves, trying to assert dominance before the first turtle fight. But even in the gold lane, by the way, the Natan is doing quite okay against the Harith. Quite surprising.
You can see here Moreno already taking the Black Dragon Forum from Fluffy. Haunted here, Annabelle. Oh, Annabelle though was so clear the turtle. And now 2 dragons in the land of Dawn already trying to perhaps find aggression, but
Whoa.
Moreno, this might be a mistake, but very defensively, damage does not come through. Luckily for Bigatron there, they just escaped from dodge the bullet.
Annabelle bares his teeth there. He was behind earlier on, still able to get that neutral objective take. What a comeback here. Even though there were some small issues for the White Tigers, it certainly seems that they have the neutral objective take.
We had a talent prediction by the Samsung Galaxy A55, A35 5G though. Mr. Pulang on the Indonesian desk, as always, refuses to follow the stream of support from the talents. We'll have to see. Right now, Bigatron certainly seems to be a bit more confused, looking for a chance to make a play happen. Seems like they're still stuck being a bit more reactive. They do have the Natan for that late game, but we've seen that it's no longer a foolproof solution, right? A lot of things can affect that outcome in these late game team fights.
For sure. What if they don't want to bring it to the late game, right? With Franco not able to find a proper pick so far.
Whoa. Annabelle made a mistake.
Keluar,
here.
kanan, guys.
This time he has it.
Dengan Nobar, dengan Whitey.
Everything's fine
Nobar
and
MPL
dandy
ID.
for Annabelle. We'll see if Key's going to be able to get this iron hook down. He does get it, but there's no follow-up. There's who in the composition of Bigatron is supposed to follow up these hooks?
When it comes to the hooks, most like the Super Ken and Marino, and maybe even Sorizo, right? Technically, without anyone around, Sorizo can do a lot of single target damage if they want to play it out like that. Oh, you see trades of skills here in the EXP lane. Again, right before the turtle spawns, to try and get some dominance. But Bigatron have to solve this problem of trying to go for a contest against a Minotaur that can stun up their own jungler. They might go for fights first, but they have left their roamer on the top side of the map. They're trying to find a way to capitalize and shut down brands, but it might not work out in their favor.
May lah, dekat Whitey. Dengan Nobar ni.
Slide himself out, but
Di Whitey.
MPL
MPL
is
ID.
secured by Clock, but not even the jungler. So that's a win here for Yvonne's Glory, and because they're looking for compensation, they're looking for trades, perhaps in the top side of the map.
So neutral objective take once again falls to the hands of the White Tigers. Annabelle didn't even use his retribution, so he can use it elsewhere. I thought he would have used it to go in for an invade, but he's just holding onto it. Meanwhile, Key looking for his next person to take in. Doesn't necessarily get it just yet. And my point earlier on with the Iron Hook was, sure, yes, I do understand we have Moreno, we have Chorizo to follow up, but it's not insta-burst. It's not something like the carry in the late game. It's not something like the Beatrix with her shotgun. It's way more difficult for Moreno to do so because the burst doesn't necessarily one-shot as a Valentina.
It sure isn't instant at all, but it depends if they start snowballing. It's a concealed play for Super can try and find something, but another jumps on him. Dreams follows up.
Bigatron there ready though. Super can still soaking the most of the damage. Whoa! Flicker Minion Fury by K finds 3. Iman will find a way out. Oh no. That's a little bit too close for comfort there. Bigatron almost losing 2 members top lane.
MPL
Now
ay
even in
di
the
suka
mid lane,
lepas hari
Annabelle
do.
just
Tahu lang
immediately
naman.
looking for some more options
Belum kita
from
kisah
both
sana.
these teams. Even when there is a big moment, it really seems like the game is so slow, so controlled. But Evos, they're getting the better of Bigatron so far with the superior team fighting, with the AoE. Oh, Kido!
See?
Yeah, he doesn't even commit the hunt.
The hooks land, but what's the next step, right? One doesn't have nearly as much damage just yet. And it feels like they haven't found the value of this Iron Hook, unless of course he commits with a ultimate.
Well, the later the game goes, technically, considering what Goni was talking about, the Minotaur, right? You're flexible, you have healing. At the same time, usually Minotaurs go with the flash of the Oasis. Now Annabelle gets jumped on.
Oh, he will commit the hunt this time. Good taunt as well. Super gonna have it though. Jumps in! And that will be enough to take him down. Super can next. Double kill for Brands. Fluffy surviving. Moreno trying to find a trade in the backside. Dreams will fall. 2 for 1. The turtle now for Evo's Lord. Moreno taken down by Clocker. And that will be Annabelle securing the nuke. Annabelle still smells blood and Chorizo stunned up. And the members will collapse on towards him. A double for Claw and a double for Brands.
Claws, fangs, everything is taken out here, ladies and gentlemen. Like Tigers, as they're turning it around in the early stage of the game. Those trades were impeccable. The way that they layered their damage was amazing. The initiation coming in from Dreams was great as well. You thought that perhaps maybe Bigatron would go in for a trade. You saw that Moreno was trying his best as well in the back line, but even that wasn't enough. And this is my underlying problem with this Franco pick. Because that should have been Annabelle's demise, but they didn't have enough damage. And so they bought so much time, and then Evos were able to re-engage like they're doing now.
Purifying already popped. That will be enough for Evos Glory to take another turret. The way I see it, I think this Franco, more than anything, is just to stop and deflect the momentum, perhaps potentially that Evos Glory is trying to do. Zero, stop it with a hunt. Not necessarily always as an engaged tool, but let's see. Now, 2,500 gold he has already established, so that is enough firepower to just find the Franco and take him down.
At the same time, though, late game for the Valentina and the Nathan is still very much a possibility for Bigatron, and they've been doing a great job at this trading when they decided it's not time to go for a fight just yet. When they did go for the fight, it didn't go their way. But just earlier, you saw that they did everything to try and slow down the push. They sent Chorizo to try and equalize. 9 minutes in right here, it's almost a 3-kick goal advantage, which is quite significant. But Bigatron, they're positioning like they can still try and contest this. It might be a mistake.
Chorizo sandbag. Oh, the hook lands on towards Fluffy, but he will soak in the damage. Chorizo falls as well as Super. And now Evos Glory, they do not
Ujong
go
angkat.
for a fight.
Franco
Instead,
gigit,
they will
Ujong.
look for the newts. 2 members taken out. That's already an advantage.
It was already bad enough that Annabelle was a level above a Super Ken. It becomes even worse that you lose 2 members having the man advantage. The Red Robots had absolutely no say in that particular interaction. And to top it all off, Brands now secures in that Holy Crystal. But back to that team fight again, right? He goes in for the iron hook. But this is textbook for Dreams. He's utilized this Minotaur as a counter towards these iron hooks so many times before. And we saw that happening. The iron hook comes in. The rest of the members want to follow up on that pick with the damage. But because of that short range composition that Bigatron has, Dreams is so easy to punish and capitalize over that interaction.
And right now, as you can see, he has the flash of the Oasis, so the healing is going to be ramping up. And of course, the extra bit of shielding when people are low. Yaman is coming close to his Holy Crystal. Oh, Evos jump on the targets.
Yep, Buffy here opening things up. Iman will be the target, but there you go. The hunt connects to stop it all. One member is taken out. Annabelle will try to escape this time. Take a look at Bigatron. There will not enough damage for him. Because Raz is there with the double. So Rizoki down and out.
Fluffy taken out, but 2 in return. And immediately Evos go to take more structures, try and get more control. Even if Bigatron try and play it safe, there is still, Varia with the poke coming in. Unless he can land a hook on someone a bit squishier, it's going to be so difficult right now. Evos understand this, and they just keep putting Annabelle and Fluffy in the forefront and let Dreams counter-engage, and Bigatron have no answer at all.
Not yet. Not yet. Inner turret in the mid will fall, so officially all outer and inner turrets will be taken out here finally.
It does so up here, like that is the situation. Ladies and gentlemen, audience prediction, however, 61% for Evil's Glory. Meanwhile, for the Bigot Troopers, 39%. That's actually quite surprising for me. I thought the Evil's fams would at least be in the 70-80% category.
Well, it turns out there's a lot more believers in Evos as of right now, not just yet for Bigatron. But Fluffy though, with the Brutus Breastplate and then the Radiant Armor, he's going to be trying to be serving as a bit of a secondary front line. As you mentioned, Eterna, as long as whoever gets hooked does not get immediately deleted or disintegrated, Evos can very easily force the fight into a long duration fight. And that's where Brands can even have a lot of space to really maneuver, to go around and just start doing big damage. And if he gets his hands on Eman or Moreno, I think he's fed enough to really start almost one-shotting them already with the Divine Glaive on top of the Holy Crystal.
What about Brands? I mean, sorry, what about Aman?
Eman? He went for the Holy Crystal as well, and then he went for the Blood Wings because he knows he needs a lot more survivability. We'll see if that pays off because he's too far away from the Lord. Still gonna go for a contest.
Superkin has no retreat.
Not yet. Will be live in 30, but the hook and the hunt connects. Dreams first to want to fall. Now Annabelle, juicy target, but Superkin will be taken out by Brands. Now in the backside, Fluffy goes crazy as Brands collects the double.
Aku turun MPL dia ni MPL tadi kan. Dia tunjuk damage dia.
Number one trade.
Dia tunjuk
And that
damage dia.
entire premise
Masuk.
didn't even matter. Superkin
Okay dah.
a level below doesn't matter.
Sound
He's
semua.
not even
Aku pakai
present.
speaker ni.
The White Tigers,
Tak
they
semua okay.
are roaring, they are growling,
Tak lawan kat
and they
Nito.
are showing a
Tak ada
dominance,
permission.
outclassing the Red Robots
Tak ada
in game
permission.
number one.
Lepas tu aku
Should it be
dah
a
borak
free
dengan moderator
Lord
ML, dia cakap
given
tapi dekat YT
to
boleh.
Evil's
Aku
Glory?
kat YT dah decision so terpaksa lah.
Lord slain by Annabelle right
Tengah tengok
there.
MPL ID guys.
As Brands
Marilah ke
finishes
YT
his
saya.
full inventory slot, 7-0. And in that game, he did, what was it, 13,000, 40,000 damage? He was just
Tiba-tiba
insane.
kuat. Tak,
And
dia
one of
pergi perang kau buat apa
basic
bodoh?
attacks actually
Dari
followed
semalam
Eman
doh.
to the entry
Serius.
pit, took him out there
Semalam
as
aku
well.
tengok game
So
ni
when
dah
it comes
selaku
to
game.
the speed of outputting the
defend
damage,
dengan
Evos has
RLQ.
been beat by a mile. Now with the
Dia
Lord
pergi
coming
perang
in, though, can they
kau
win a 5v5?
untuk lawan Mino. Aku tak faham doh.
Reveals 5.
Tak masalahnya, okey lah, perang tu gigit kan. Minonya masa hati. Lepas tu,
The damage will connect. Brands finds one.
Lepas tu
They
apa
find
doh?
more. With the Fury, he finds a double, looking for the triple. The base now should be the main objective, but they want bodies. Triple for Brands and double for Clover.
Jege.
The
Okay, aku tunggu
base
balik. Aku tak fokus
will
dulu
be
game ni.
taken out.
Tunggu balik lah. Aku tak ada
The
game lah.
lead of the series,
Aku duk
Evil's
setting itu ini. Tak tahu game ni dah habis lah. Bodoh betul.
side, so not the winning side. The
Apply
Pasu, dulu
instead
memang
the
lepas hari tu.
export very early on,
MPL ID.
possibly hinting at some kind of contest for domination in the EXP
Dulu
lane, but the
memang tak
Loyi
kisah tu pas hari.
does not show up.
Tahu lah kenapa.
Improving brings a lot of
Hari
Giving over a
is the answer.
today we haven't seen the Natan really finding too big a extra in this composition.
Alpha.
Like some course, but the Xborgs
Ben Alpha.
was
Baik.
like the mobility.
Siap,
Maybe
siap,
the one
siap.
downside for
Tapi nampak ah, Basyam yang boleh lawan lah
but at the
Freddy.
same time they have a black dragon form, they have the box
On the Valentina,
ability already baked in, and ooh, the Franco.
Kenapa dia pilih Franco tu?
he's very effective as well on the Valentina, one of his
Lagi Ari,
power
boleh.
heroes as well. But for the side of
Lagi rin.
Eagles, comfort all around. Fluffy gets his Yuzong. We do see Klokken,
Dream Supro.
who's been able to steal
Mari
so
lah, guys.
many
YT,
objectives
guys.
under the nose of his opponents
Sabot lah,
with
YT
the
aku yang baru buat ni.
Nobaria and Brands with the Harith. It's a battle of comfort. But dive deep
Halo, Jiren.
into the land of Dawn before we dive deep into the compositions with Arashi. Ladies and gentlemen, game the upper bracket.
Very early on, Key already just forced to back away right here. His attempts to really slow down the jungle clearing speed isn't exactly successful. Showing again the difficulties if you still want to try and be pesky and try and reset or delay that buff in the EXP lane. It's going to be quite a skill matchup between Sorizo and Fluffy. And technically in the Golden as well, there's going to be a lot of eyes there to try and see how this matchup plays out. Because both of the goal laners right here are not going for any kind of defensive emblem setups. They both want that Bargain Hunter to try and get the power spike as fast as possible.
You take a look at Moreno as well in his emblem choices. He's looking for much more cooldown. What kind of gameplay is he hinting at here?
High mobility, impact in the fights by just spamming spells out. And he went
Halo,
for
Bol.
the Impure Rage as well to try and help with the mana
Sige, Bol,
issues.
kawai
potentially.
di.
No quantum charge though, so he can't really kite as efficiently. But
YT,
Annabelle,
YT.
whoa,
Actually, caught here. Oh my god. Without the shield,
Kau
he
masih
did
belum
not
subscribe.
even
Aku
level
punya YT
4.
kan?
Annabelle will be
Tengok.
punished in the
Apa
so he can't
bagus?
really kite as efficiently. But Annabelle, whoa,
actually caught here.
kites by just spamming spells out. And he went for the Impure Rage as well to try and help with the mana issues potentially.
Dulu
No
buat
quantum
dinosaur,
charge though, so he can't
meninggal.
really kite as efficiently. But Annabelle, whoa,
Actually caught here. Oh,
Oh,
my
dia
god. Without the shield, he did not even level 4. Annabelle will be punished in the
Dah balik kan
jungle.
sebenarnya.
These spikes
really wasn't the way the Natan is around either. Now look at this mid lane. Woof. Pikachu already making the aggressive moves, trying to assert dominance before the first turtle fight. But even in the gold lane, by the way, the Natan is doing quite okay against the Harith. Quite surprising.
Teka-teka sama. Aduh.
Taking the black dragon for
Kenapa Lost Heroes selalu macam mana lah aku nak tekan jai. Girin.
And now two dragons in the land of Dawn already trying to
Tak
perhaps
buka
find
lah.
a progression, but
Tak biasa lah.
The Natan is
Nobar
doing
ni.
quite
Tak banyak
okay
sangat nak kena
against the
setting ni
Harith.
anjay.
Quite surprising.
Tak fokus.
here Moreno already taking the black dragon for him from Fluffy. Onto here, Annabelle. Oh, Annabelle though was so clear the turtle.
punca
And
kekalahan
now
ni.
two dragons in the land of Dawn already
Iya.
trying to perhaps find aggression, but
Whoa,
Moreno,
okay,
this might be a mistake, but very defensively,
tak mati,
damage
Bang.
does not come through.
Eh,
Luckily
Ben,
for Megatron
bodoh.
there, they just escaped from dodge a bullet.
Annabelle bares his
Belen
teeth
gila.
there. He was behind earlier on, still able to get that neutral objective take. What a comeback here. Even though there were some small issues for the White Tigers, it certainly seems that they have the neutral objective take.
We had a talent prediction by the Samsung Galaxy A55, A35 5G though. Mr. Pulang on the Indonesian desk, as always, refuses to follow the stream of support from the talents. We'll have to see. Right now, Bigatron certainly seems to be a bit more confused, looking for a chance to make a play happen. Seems like they're still stuck being a bit more reactive. They do have the Natan for that late game, but we've seen that it's no longer a foolproof solution, right? A lot of things can affect that outcome in
Nah,
these
kagak.
late game team
Nah.
fights.
For sure.
Mari
What
Whitey.
if they don't want to bring it to the late game, right? With Franco not able to find a proper pick so far.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Annabelle made a mistake earlier. This time he has the Poissons to escape.
Everything's fine and dandy for Annabelle. We'll see if Key's going to be able to get this iron hook down. He does get it, but there's no follow-up. There's who in the composition of Bigatron are supposed to follow up these hooks?
When it comes to the hooks, most likely Super Ken and Moreno, and maybe even Sorizo, right? Technically, without anyone around, Sorizo can do a lot of single target damage if they want to play it out like that. Oh, you see trades of skills here in the EXP lane. Again, right before the turtle spawn, to try and get some dominance. But Bigatron have to solve this problem of trying to go for a contest against a Minotaur that can stun up their own jungler. They might go for fights first, but they have left their roamer on the top side of the map. They're trying to find a way to capitalize and shut down brands, but it might not work out in their favor.
Sorizo stuck in the pit. Will try to slide it himself out, but Turtle will be secured by Clock and not even the jungler. So that's a win here for Lost Glory. And Bigatron Alpha, they're looking for compensation. They're looking for trades, perhaps in the top side of the map.
So neutral objective take once again
Okay.
falls to the hands of
Mag-
the
upgrade.
Tigers. Annabelle didn't even use
Kawaii
his
tini.
retribution, so he can use it
Kawaii
elsewhere. I thought he
mari
would've
mari.
used it to
Tapos
go
lah,
for an
subscribe
engage,
sikit.
but he's just holding onto it. Meanwhile,
Tengok
Key
tengok MPL lagi.
looking for his next person to take in. Doesn't necessarily get it just yet. And my point earlier on with the Iron Hook was, sure, yes, I do understand we have Moreno, we have Sorizo to follow up, but it's not insta-burst. It's not something like the carry in the late game. It's not something like the Beatrix with her shotgun. It's way more difficult for Morena to do so because the burst doesn't necessarily one-shot as a Valentina.
It sure isn't instant at all, but it depends if they start snowballing. It's a concealed play for Super Ken to try and find something. Another jumps on him. Dreams follows up.
Bigatron, they're ready though. Super Ken still soaking the most of the damage. Whoa! Look at Minion Fury by K finds
Ini
three.
lah
Come on,
buncanya.
will find a way out.
Kenapa lah ada Franco?
That's a little
Aduh
too close
lah.
for comfort there. Bigatron almost
Minat lah, sangat tak minat
losing
Franco
two
dia.
members top lane.
Now
Tak,
even in the
Franco
mid
tolong
lane,
Amino, tapi
Annabelle
nah.
is
Lawan benda
immediately
lain,
looking for
okay.
some more options
Amino.
for both these teams. Even when there is a big moment, it really seems like the game is so slow, so controlled. But Evos, they're getting the better of Bigatron so far with the superior team fighting, with the AoE. Oh,
Tak boleh
Kino!
dekat ni. Tak Nobar dekat situ.
Yeah, he doesn't even commit the hunt.
Lepas
The hooks
lah.
land, but
Yang
What's the next step,
slow
right?
pindah.
They have to
Amon
wait.
doesn't have nearly as much damage just yet. And it feels like they haven't found the value of this Iron Hook, unless of course he commits with a ultimate.
Well, the later the game goes, technically, considering what Goni was talking about, the Minotaur, right? You're flexible, you have healing. At the same time, usually Minotaurs go with the flash of the Oasis. Now Annabelle gets jumped on.
Oh, he will commit the hunt this time. Good taunt as well. Simply the Herod though jumps in! And that
At the same time, usually Minotaurs go with the flash of the Oasis. Now Annabelle gets jumped
Tapi
on.
kan dia
oh,
remeh
he
kan.
will commit the hunt this time. Good taunt as well.
Masalah
The
dia.
Herod though jumps in!
Susah
That
je
might
kan.
be enough to take him down. Super Ken
Kalau
next
bukan dia
double
punya
kill for
terus habis
France.
dia kan.
Fluffy
Kalau bukan
surviving.
dia,
Moreno
tu
trying to find a
kena
trade in the backside. Dream
Macam
will
ni,
fall.
menjemput
2
diri
for 1.
sendiri,
The turtle now for
meninggal.
Evo's Lord Moreno. Taken down by
Malah Franco ni dah lah last.
And that will be Annabelle securing
Alah, boy.
it. Annabelle still smells blood. and
Juga
Chorizo.
menangis satu ni.
Thunder,
Ah, ni kau
and the
tahu.
members will collapse on
Mana
Chorizo.
kau tahu.
A double for Claw and a double for Bronze.
Mungkin
Claws,
tadi kau dekat
fangs,
timeline lain.
everything is taken out here, ladies and gentlemen, by the White Tigers as they're turning it around in the early stage
Ini tu,
of the
tetapi
game.
Franco dia
Those
tiba
trades
lain
were
kan.
impeccable. The way that they layered their damage was amazing. The initiation coming in from Dreams was great as well. You thought that perhaps
Ini
maybe
tahu
Bigatron could
kan.
go in for a trade. You saw that Moreno was trying his best as well in the back line, but even that wasn't enough. And this is my underlying problem with this Franco pick, because that should have been Annabelle's demise, but they didn't have enough damage.
Kalau
And so
kena
they
buhu Basia tu nak buat apa tu?
so much time, and then Evos
Dah
were
apa?
able to
Kalau
re-engage
kena bayar
like they're doing
gigit
now.
minum first kan?
Purifying already popped. That will be enough for Evol's Glory to take another turret. The way I see it, I think this Franco, more than anything, is just to stop and deflect the momentum, perhaps potentially that Evol's Glory is trying to do. Steamroll.
Main 8 minit 52 ya. Disiplin kan.
That's
Sebab
not
BTR dia
necessarily
tak garang.
always an engaged tool, but let's see,
Dia
let's see.
dia
Now,
macam
2,500 gold he has
dia ada
already established,
kacuk-kacuk
so
tim
that
PH
is
sikit.
enough
Kacuk-kacuk.
firepower to
Dia disiplin. Strategik
find
lah gitu.
Franco and take him
Ah.
down.
At the same time, though,
Strategic.
late game for the Valentina and the
Memang macam
the
gitu lah.
Tan.
Game ni lagi lah diorang tengah
This is
kalah kan.
very much a possibility.
Tengok je
for
lah ada
Bigatron.
farming.
And
Memang
they've been doing a
mampus.
great job at this trading when they decided it's not time to go for a fight just yet. When they did go for the fight, it didn't go their way. But just earlier, you saw that they did everything to try
Tarik
and
tu.
slow down the push.
Boleh nak
They
fahamkan
sent
lagi.
Sorizo to try and equalize.
Memang tim Indo dekat
9
playoff.
minutes in right
Memang
here,
lepaskan
it's
aja tu.
almost a 3K goal advantage, which is
Semalam
quite
pun sama kan?
significant. But Bigatron, they're positioning like they can still try and contest this. It might be a mistake.
Kalau ni tadi lah.
Sandbag. Oh, the
sedap
hook
tengok main
lands
Fanny
on
tadi.
towards a Fluffy. But
Fanny
he
babi lah. Tak bagus, tak bagus,
They're
tak bagus.
positioning like they can still
Tak tahu dah kena
try and
angkat.
contest this. It might be a mistake.
Tahu-tahu dah terangkat lah semuanya. Macam mana Jai?
Sandbag. Oh, the hook lands on towards a Fluffy.
Baik.
But he will
Tak, dia sebab dia gini, kalau lah
As well
ada
as
satu
he
je.
And now Evo's Glory,
Kan
they
tadi Franco
do
last
not
pick kan. Kalau ada satu
go
je
for
skill untuk
a
cancel
fight.
ulti dia okey
Instead,
lah.
they will look for the newts. Two
Ada
members
ada
taken
dua.
out. That's
Ada Mindo,
already an
ada
advantage.
Yujong.
It was already
Gigi
bad
Mino,
enough that
Yujong
Annabelle
cancel.
was a level
Gigi Yujong,
above the
Mino
Super
cancel. Eh,
Ken.
macam mana Jok?
Becomes even worse that you lose two members
Hello.
having the man advantage. The Red Robots had
Dia
absolutely
pick
no
Franco
say
nak
in that
counter
particular
Nino ke nak counter Harit?
interaction. And to
Dia
top
dulu.
it all off, France now
Faham tak?
secures in that Holy Crystal. But back to that
Yusuf, dah
main
boleh
fight
Nobar.
again,
Betul.
right? He goes in for the
Bisa.
Iron Hook. But this is textbook
kena high
for
attack.
Dreams.
Kenapa,
He's
Jok?
utilized this Minotaur
Kenapa
as a
kena high
counter
attack, Jok?
towards these Iron Hooks so many times before. And we saw that
Guys,
happening.
yang
The
dekat
Iron
TikTok,
Hook comes
mari-mari
in,
ke YT.
the rest of the members want to follow up
Marilah,
on that
ke YT
pick
saya, guys.
with the damage. But because of
Mari
that
lah.
short range composition that Bigatron
Oh, ni gigi sama orang.
has, Dreams is so easy to punish and
Kena ni, kena
capitalize
split push dengan
over
Claude.
that
Aduh.
interaction.
And right now, as you can see, he has the fast of the Oasis, so the healing is
Kena
going to be
split
ramping
push.
up. And of course, the extra bit of shielding when people are low. Yaman is coming close to his Holy Crystal. Oh, Evos jump on the targets.
Mana?
Fluffy
Main.
opening things up. Iman will be the target, but there you go. The hunt connects to
Tu
stop
orang
it
lasi
all.
boleh, ah?
One member is taken out. Annabelle will try to escape this
Tu
time.
orang lasi.
Take a look at Bigatron.
Ah, mampus.
There was not enough damage for him. Because Raz is there with the double. So Rizoki down and out.
Fluffy taken out, but two in return. And immediately Evos go to take more structures, try and get more control. Even if Bigatron try and play it safe, there is still Nobaria with the poke coming in. Unless he can land a hook on someone a bit squishier. It's going to be so
Franco
difficult
kurang
right
kalau
now.
war. Yelah,
Even
tak
understand
aku
this,
suka
they
je
keep
Franco
putting
tapi ikut
Annabelle
keadaan
and
lah.
Fluffy in the forefront and let Dreams counter engage, and Bigatron have no answer at all.
Kalau macam gini kan, sebab tadi Franco last pick, maknanya dia ada semua info kan.
Turret in the mid
Macam
will
mana
fall,
nak
so
main
officially
tu?
all outer and
Ujung
inner
Mino
turrets
ni.
will be taken out here quite early.
Pasal early game pun parah kan.
So
Sebab
up here,
balance tak cukup. Damage nak
but
burst
that is the
dengan cici.
situation.
Kalau
Ladies and
dia kena
gentlemen, audience
lambat
prediction,
lah.
however,
Ooh.
61%.
Kalau snowball boleh kan.
Glory.
Snowball boleh.
Meanwhile, for the Bigger Troopers, 39%.
Kalau 50-50 dengan kalah.
Quite surprising for me.
Aku kena ke
I
tak
thought the
kena
Eagles
ke
fans
sama.
Would
Parah.
at least be in the 70-80%.
Lepas tu lagi satu ni, Nathan ni. Siapa nak jaga Nathan ni kau cakap aku?
There's a lot more believers in
Mana
Evos.
Nathan ni main?
As of right now, not just yet
Yujong
for
pergi.
Bigatron,
Arit
but
pergi.
Fluffy though. With the
Nathan
Bruiser's
Arit,
Vested
Nathan
and
mati
then
tu.
the Radiant Armor,
Sumpah Nathan
really
mati.
trying to be serving as a bit of a secondary front line. As you mentioned, Eterna, as long as whoever gets hooked does not get immediately
Tak siapa boleh jaga
deleted
Nathan.
or disintegrated, Evos can very easily force a fight into a long duration fight. And that's where
Dia
Brands
tengah kalah
can
ni,
even have a lot
dia tak
of
boleh nak
space
burst kan.
to
Kalau
really
tak, kalau
maneuver, to
50-50
go
boleh lagi
around
kan. Nak apa?
and just start doing big damage.
Nak
And
burst
if he gets his
Yujongnya
hands
masa
on
jadi
Embar or
naga.
Moreno, I I think he's fed enough to really start almost one-shotting them already with the Divine Glaive on top of the Holy Crystal.
What about Brands? I mean, sorry, what about Aman?
Aman, he went for the Holy Crystal as well, and then he went for the Blood Wings because he knows he needs a lot more survivability. We'll see if that pays off because right now he's too far away from the Lord. That's Bigatron. They're still trying to go for a contest.
Superkin has no retreat.
Not yet. We'll be live in 30, but the hook and the hunt connects. Dream first the one to
Dah cantik dah. Dia bukan dia tak bahu main Franco.
Will be taken up by Brands.
Dah cantik dah, tapi
Buffy goes crazy.
macam mana nak sambung?
He might
Dia
go
nak
for the
sambung
triple,
bila
but
HP link kau
Moreno and
cici.
Chorizo has enough space to back off.
3-for-1 trade.
Pasal ada Mino
And that
lagi.
entire
Nathan
premise didn't even
dengan
matter.
Valen ni takut nak ni
Superkin
macam
a level below
apa
doesn't
nak laju
matter.
follow
He's
up.
not even
Sebab
present.
bukan takut, maksudnya dia
The
dia
White
tahulah, dia
Tigers,
boleh
they
fikirlah kan.
are
Oh kalau
roaring, they are
main
growling,
masuk je ke depan
and
nanti
they
kena
are
turn.
showing a
Sebab ada
dominance,
Mino, ada
outclassing the Red
apa ada
Robots
Yujong kan.
in
So
game
dorang pun tak boleh nak ke
number
depan
1.
sangat.
This is
Masalahnya
gonna be
perangku
a
dah
free
buka depan tengah
board
gigit.
given to
Kurang
Eagles
sesuai.
Has
Kurang
to.
sesuai.
Man, Lord slain by Annabelle right
Ah
there.
betul. Sebab Ibu ada
As
hero
Brands
yang
finishes his
sustain
full
untuk kejar
inventory
backline. Itu
slot,
masalah.
7-0.
Untuk
And
reset,
in that
untuk
game,
reset
he
perang
did,
lah. Yujong dengan ni kan.
what was
Harit
it,
pun boleh kata hero
13,000,
reset perang
40,000
juga.
damage. He was just
Sebab contoh
insane.
perangku Hook
And
Basia
one of
contoh.
the basic attacks actually
Perangku gigit.
followed Eman through the entropy and took him out there as
Lepas
well.
tu
So when it comes to the speed of outputting
baru
the damage,
apa
Eagles
halfway nak
has
rata
been
kan.
beat by a mile.
Mino
Now
dengan
with the
Yujong
Lord
masuk
coming in,
tengah
they're
hari
handed with a
ulti.
5v5.
Tak memang
Good
tiru
ass
main.
Echo reveals 5 with
Memang
the
tidur.
middle zone.
Susah lah nak perang.
Bigatron out. Oh!
Perang 5 lawan 5 susah.
Brands finds
5
one.
lawan 5. Kalau maybe dia orang pergi geng-geng kick kan. Lain lah kan. Tapi nak 5 lawan 5 berat lah.
Main objective, but they want bodies.
Berat.
Triple for Brands and double for Quadrant. The base.
Berat.
Speed of the hero selections, it almost seems like they are prepared for this as well. They don't really seem confused. They don't seem unfazed. They don't seem really phased by the
Draft.
The Mars and the Roger, that's a lot of slow burst. But we've seen Evos with their style in this season, able to just delay games so far. They want to do that though. They have to find disengage tools because otherwise, all these heroes are very easily caught in the middle of a big skirmish.
Bigatron, the way they picked up Barca, Roger, and Chip, it's very similar on what Onyx did. Fnatic Onyx did it in the previous match, right? And sure, Onyx took a couple of losses as well, but really were able to find this stability. Perhaps against a hero like Claude, though, it's going to be a problem, especially in the later stages. Barca, but it's going to be the Barrage and the Bafia bent out.
Interesting.
So, yeah, they're just limiting the junglers here from the side of Evo's Glory. You do not want to play the utilities.
Do you know what was effective
What?
against that game?
Kindness is
Masha.
the surest path
Right?
to
Masha was a big
ruination.
factor as to shutting down Suns on the far side in that particular game that they actually lost. So that is still a
Memang
possibility
Karim,
here
betul?
for Fluffy if they want
Masa
to pick
jadi
it up for
naga
themselves. And
dah
hey,
setengah
it wasn't
nyawa
banned out. They
apa?
opted for the Carmilla and the
Nyawa
Yuzong,
Yujong.
so the Masha is still
Aku
available
nampak ah.
to use.
Antara yang sedap kan Gengarino lawan Barat lah.
And you're
Lawan
seeing
Barat.
that
Sangat sedap.
some heroes
Sebab
are
Barat
left
keyboard
over right
besar.
here. I mean,
So compensate sikit range carry yang pendek tu. Lepas tu Barat kan
by
diri
a little
tegak
bit
pasal
over,
ulti.
you would think that
Memang
the Ling or the Alpha would be
memang
banned
kalau
away
Kairi
or
Kairi
picked
pula.
away
Kairi
even.
ni jaga
But
timing
no,
ulti
both
kan.
are still open.
Ulti masa
Both
Barat
are
tengah
already
makan
selected.
tu memang meninggal aja.
It should be already in
Meninggal.
the jungle, but unless Evos want to play some
Oh, dia Barat, Barat.
flex it around. we should
Pelik
see-
doh, tak boleh Arik. Tak,
see
Arik
Wolves in
mengarut
It's gonna
memang
be
kena
too
ban
late
lagi
for
doh.
Fluffy
Kena
here.
ban,
So
kena
in the
nerf
team
lagi
fight
doh.
situation, and especially for
Mengarut
Moreno on the
doh.
Farsa, this Terizla can be a big
Bro,
problem.
tak boleh apa-apa.
Get
Dia boleh
jumped
pak.
on by the penalty zone.
Dia YT
He can't get
Arul.
out.
Aku tak baca sangat
Masha
cek
is an
titanya.
approach, but it seems like they went for another.
Pening.
Right, Terizla,
Banyak sangat.
straightforward,
Baca.
penalty zone flicker even is
Aduh.
gonna cause
Quality,
Barca
quality.
to reposition. And that is, I feel like, their main answer.
Razli
here
tu
with
kau.
the Terizla. Now though,
Ambil Razli okey
what are they
okey.
gonna go for here? Ooh, they're gonna add aggression. Vito, very fast clearing and also kill pressure.
These two EXP laners are signature picks for both of
Harit.
these players. Fluffy on the Terizla is a monster, but Teresa on the Paquito is also a
It is
different
in
beast.
despair that I see.
But wait a second,
Baton
Roger
again.
in the jungle.
Di jungle lah, tak minat
We
tu.
haven't seen that
In a
Tak
while.
lately.
minat.
Or in a while. We also haven't seen R7 in a while, unless you guys watch his live streams.
BTR
Every
pun
time Evo changes
mental
junglers,
break
they
ni.
do well. There's Taz, there's First,
Sana ni,
Annabelle,
kalau jumpa ni
and
esok.
Juan. who is a world champion. And, you know, so far it's true. People
Aduh.
are saying that Evos give
Okay, Ron.
birth to
Nampak,
very
nampak.
talented junglers. So Tsujin, no longer with us right now.
I
And
am the
MPLMY,
priestess of primal
but he also
lightning,
shows
the
promise. But
hunter of all the
Edith
evil
last
gods.
pick for Evos.
Oi, tapi rasa aman sikit dari Basia. Nyampah, aku dah nyampah dengan Basia. Semak anjing.
Versatility. More armor. Can have
Bro,
power
jangan
control, also
go.
damage. That primal wrath mode.
Tak minat doh, Roger
He's a
Jungle
great damage
ni.
dealer, that's
Dia
for
memang
sure.
susah gila doh nak
The
main
only
kalau tak ada
mid-stake
buri.
ability, though, it's actually quite dead.
Kena
even
ulti
with
Terry.
the draft index.
Pening.
Everything
Kena
else
cium
goes
Predrin.
to the hands of
Pening.
Evos.
Kena
The fact
sasau
that
Belen.
Nathan
Pening.
shows up here again. The backline is so vulnerable right now. And I'm really curious again, what is the idea right here? They have the Paquito, they have the Chip and the Roger. Is it just no team fights? Just big pick-off moments? We'll have to see, because the burst damage at least is definitely adequate.
We'll see, ladies and gentlemen, as we get into the Land of Dawn.
Land of
For
Dawn.
game 2 between the Red
Game ni kita poker, ha?
Terminators
Kita
and
tengok
the
Ezeli.
White Tigers. Time and time again,
Till the
this
enemy
has
reaches
been
the
such an
battlefield.
equal
Smash them.
matchup, an equal head-to-head. And we're going to see which way this pendulum will swing. Can Bigatron Alpha secure a win to equalize this 1-1?
Mari lah,
Or
tadi.
can
Di YT,
Evos
di YT.
go for a clean 2-0 in this best of 5 series? Dreams!
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Aku baru
Little
angkat
too close
kepala
for
aku,
comfort.
tiba-tiba
Still
Edith dia dah lasi.
holding
Kau
on
boleh relax.
towards his flicker though. Clockon in the mid.
Boleh relax.
He wants that last minion. So level 2 for Clockon, but Key will provide a vision and just keep pressure. Now wings by wings. Oh, might catch Clockon off guard. Flickers out, and that will be it.
Annabelle significantly slowed down already in the mid game, mid lane rather. You're seeing that this Chip, again, it's not just the tankiness, it's the damage that you can bring to the picture as well. You get the emblems here by GamesMax though. Especially
tahu
for
bila
Sorizo,
lah nampak
agility with the
MM
sprint,
bawa
with the quantum
emblem
charge,
MM.
he is trying to go fast. So is Iman.
Tak kamu emblem?
Fluffy though,
Asasi.
1v1.
Oh, 2v1.
Aduh.
Still holding on towards that flicker as well. So still within calculation. They have very, very wild
sangat.
action here in the early game.
Emblem kamu ni sedap
Especially
betul tu
if
dekat
you
early
look at the
game ni.
composition, you would think that there's going to be a bit of a
Sangat
lull in the
sedap.
action, especially in the beginning, with 2 late game marksmen. But that's not how this game is going to go. The Purifiers coming in for Eman and Marino will be critical in ensuring that they survive the initial catch. But later on, there's going to be a lot of damage from Clock and from
Tidur nanti
Brands,
Nathan ni.
even from Dreams technically. You got to be careful about that. For the side of
boleh
Evos
tidur.
though, Brands with the
Jangan
Purify
ambil
and the
later.
Quantum Charge
nak tutup.
still will be prioritizing that safety
Mototoy.
more than anything. That seems to be the signature Brand style.
By the way, is Natan still sitting at a 0% win rate today?
Yeah. Today, yeah.
I believe so.
So Bigatron still wants to commit with this Natan in the goal. Wait a second, that's a lot of damage.
Yep, the airstrike before the turtle already committed. That's a valuable resource already spent. Chorizo though moves on towards Clockon, and now he will be taken now. Super Ken finds first blood. It seems like they want to collapse. He flickers out of the way. Annabelle caught in the front side. Will be taken out. That's a double for Super Ken though. Key will be the trade, but Super Ken will fall
Oi,
as well.
kena lah.
Very,
Tapi
very
ada
messy
begitu.
early game, but it's a 2 for 2.
Ada
So
flicker
Rizzo,
dah.
low HP, has
Ha, kena.
no
Ay, ay,
the flicker. The damage will be enough to take him down.
The crowd goes wild here at Jakarta International Velodrome.
Ay, ay,
With the
ay.
Evos
Fluffy
fans
tu batok main
cheering
berangkut
for
tadi.
that last move by Fluffy. That final interaction to seal the deal for Chorizo. A little bit of rivalry there in the EXP lane.
That is crazy. The fact that the fight began with Bigatron just sneaking Super Ken in the backline. But now Key still caught out. Seems like in a
AM
4-on
chip.
fight, they haven't really been able to
Nak naik
beat
kotak.
Evos at
Kotak
all. They have to try and go for these weirder skirmishes
Naik
where they can
kotak.
get the pickoffs. And now look at how Evos is positioning.
love
Immediately
it.
gathering around the turtle.
Eh guys,
potentially
check ni
baiting
di
Bigatron
YT.
into yet another multi-person big team fight.
Halo Dami.
But this is the
Kira
Super Ken
betul
we know
sebenarnya.
and
Duit
love.
belah pasal.
2 levels ahead of
Dua
Annabelle
sekali
right now.
tak?
Has
Dua
more of a
kali?
chance,
Cik
but
dah.
we'll see the execution.
Oh my goodness, Super
Ya,
Ken
sorry tu.
type person.
Nampak tu apa jadi
Big team fight.
ML punya
But
team
this is
fight
the
ni memang
Super
tak boleh
Cal
tengok
Nobar
kali tu.
Love, 2 levels ahead of Annabelle
Terlalu
right
laju,
now.
terlalu
Has
pening,
more of a
terlalu
chance,
serabut
but
tu.
we'll
Patutlah
see the
serabut tu
execution.
lagi.
Oh my goodness, Super Ken again now. Surprising out with the neutral objective take. Amon fighting the shutdown, but take a look at Super Ken again.
Nak tanya
Amon
rugi
with the
guys.
double shortcut was used
Up.
earlier. But Rans finding compensation bottom side.
Wow.
Selects.
Aku rasa
He
kalau
goes
dia langgar dia
short
mati lah.
That was a 1-for-2 trade earlier, Arashi.
With the neutral objective taken as well.
Meninggal
All things
lah.
considered, still pretty good. But again, for Evos, they're giving Brands a lot of space right here.
Sabar,
Not
sabar,
that
nanti.
babysitting him,
Aku
but
memang
they're
tengah
just
ni,
making things
Rul.
happen
Sabar.
elsewhere
Bagi aku
again and
sedikit lagi
again.
masa, okey? Aku
If
memang
Brands wasn't
nak
really participating in that
ah,
fight, and it was
apa?
still kind of close,
dah nak mula
that's not a good sign for Bigatron at all.
orang cakap
Especially for the Super Ken on that
mula
Roger, he needs to try and snowball
bersosial.
the hard-
Begitulah. Dekat ni, dekat stream. Katanya nak bawa orang masuk Discord lah. Orang-orang ni lah, orang-orang yang dah shortlist. Gitu. Tapi nanti lah, bagi aku
That's a
configure
jump
dulu,
right over to
configure.
Brand. So already being able to munch that entire gold
Pasal
shield,
plan
he needs
nak
to kill
live dua-dua
onto
ni nanti.
key.
Dua-dua.
And he can actually
Dekat
go
YT
for a little
dengan
bit
TikTok.
more.
Dua-dua
You
lah.
need to be aware of the
Serentak.
gold.
This is a tough situation for Bigatron because usually we saw when the chips really get
Soon,
success
very
is when
soon,
there's
okay?
someone else
Very
that can
soon.
face check that isn't the main tank. And now, look at
Parsa
this.
pun buat NOD
Oh,
pasal item sekarang guys.
Shortcut will be committed. Sorizo, Amon also is
Aduh.
there in that vicinity. Oh, BD4 is this wise. He
Au lah.
soaking damage
Oh,
with
anjing.
strike the backside. Deals a hefty amount of damage and Brands will take keep down
Ambil
again.
bau sangat pula Ibu ni guys.
4v2 now in the bottom side of the map.
Faham,
Wins
macam
by
mana ni?
wins already.
Macam
Repositions. But Amon caught under the turret. That's another
Nak
dog for the
keluar
White
macam mana bodoh.
Tigers.
Amazing. So quick, so clean.
Keluar pakai
Fast
niat
tempo
boleh
as
lah.
well. Meanwhile, Annabelle holding his own there in the mid lane. But there is a trade,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen. Sorizo will be able to get that tower
Dia patut buat
in the
kan?
top.
Kita boleh
A
tengok
little
duit
setup
player
here.
24 jam
The next
bro.
neutral objective
Maksudnya
take.
sentiasa
Clock
ada je
so
duit player tu kat
low.
screen. Tak tahu apa.
That's the
Siapa
better
yang tengah ada
airstrike,
duit daripada
bursting him
duit.
down.
Ni
As
selagi dia
the
tak tunjuk,
neutral
selagi tu
objective
kita
comes
nampak.
up, though.
Aduh.
So Rizzo trying to deny dreams that he just stands his ground with Fluffy.
Tak, tapi kenapa Evos macam tak boleh nak
The
kontes lah?
second
Tetap
turtle of the game here. So
faham dah tu.
A-OK. Neutral objective wise for the red robots.
Satu kill.
But they're slightly behind
2
on
kill tadi.
economy.
2 kill golik
So
tadi.
will he jumped onto V1. Fluffy Annabelle is there. Shortcut
Tapi tak.
will not find
kontes
anyone.
satu.
But Super Ken finds a kill. Take a look at He's stuck in the middle of that fight. So Rizona will be the next target by Evo's Glory, but has no and not enough resource to take him down. That's a 1-for-1.
And all the while in the bottom side, Brands is just doing Brands things. Evos is really matching to this global pressure. And it's just a confusing situation for Bigatron to be in. They have Sorizo that, in theory, with this build, with this emblem setup, wants to try and split, wants to try and go for 1v1s. But even with the global presence, Evos are always faster, in the right place at the right time. Annabelle. Whoa!
Jumps on
Tidur.
towards Moreno wins by ways. Will it be enough? Yeah, he survives. And with that, Evo's Glory will move on towards another objective bottom side. Take a
Dia tu
look,
dua-dua
Sorizo
turtle kat
again.
Bitar. Tapi
He
betul tadi faham ah.
took down the top turret and he took down the bottom. They're going to commit to this 3v1. Fluffy, oh my goodness, penalty zone, desperate one. It seems like he will fall. Sorizo secures it, and also he
Oh,
might
gear ni
be
macam
at another
tebal lah
turret
ke?
in the bottom side of the map.
Playing the
Nyawanya
map
dia buat item
very
bro.
well.
Mesti buat
Meanwhile,
like
Dreams
endless
looks to do the same exact thing. The pressure in the mid lane, but look, here comes Sorizo.
Ooh.
He managed to clear the wave. Evo's Glory, they know, they realize
Kalau lah kat
that
rank
20
macam gitu
seconds,
guys ah.
the first Lord will be up.
Synchro burst crit wave supaya tahunya tak jatuh guys.
Even game this time.
Basah.
Akito, he's been so annoying. Sorizo, sure, like, in terms of like
Ish, kenapa tak
damage
percaya?
output, it's there, but it's not as
Wala percaya.
noticeable as the fact of how well he's been playing the map. He's been taking these turrets under the nose of Evos, who, for the most part, enjoy grouping together and enjoy getting a advantage in these team fights, and they're capitalizing over it. They're punishing it.
And looking at the gold disparity, actually now Bigatron, despite looking initially like they're on the back foot, these macro maneuvers have allowed them to get the
Oh,
gold
endless.
advantage. But still, it doesn't seem like
Oh,
they have a
fairness.
solution to winning
Tanda ba?
these big fights. So now they're going for the split push play.
8 menit,
the
3 item
combo, the
brokernya.
Hero with the chip,
Memang
and
lah.
they're using Moreno not to go for burst damage, it's for wave
Faham lah
clear
juga, Nafi.
to ensure that he can
Tapi tu
clear
lah.
the mid lane wave from a safe distance and deny the tower take. But look at the bottom
Snowball
side.
sikit boleh kan.
That's almost Brands.
Tapi kalau
Getting
game ni
caught.
PvP, aku basically sini lah. Tak minat kalau hero-nya
Pressure on
hanya
both
kuat
sides of
bila
the map.
snowball.
How will Evo
Superkin is 2 levels
50-50 dengan
above,
kalah,
mind you. So
dia terus tak boleh main.
despite
Oh,
the
tak
back
minat.
and forth, the ping pong
Tu risky, tu
toss up
risky.
between the White Tigers as well as the Red Robots, Superkin has still been able to gain an advantage
Wait,
over Annabelle. And
gimana
also
ni?
the team fights.
Oh, dapat angka 4
Suddenly jumped up by
tu.
5 members of Bigatron, and it will be punished. Fluffy though
Fluffy.
jumps in the penalty zone. No follow-up damages yet. Brands still hovering around, looking to reposition. Clockun Annabelle will not connect
Tahu
just
je
yet.
kat mana.
But man, oh man, Bigatron, they're suddenly a 1,500 gold lead. So now it's more of a Bigatron game, and they are just taking their time here in this lore take. They know they have the advantage.
That was so risky by Fluffy, but it turns out it was to back up Brands, and the calculation was right.
Oh, the damage will be enough to take Key down. Surely no! What? He survives. Still 5v4 though. He has to recall. So Rizzo trying to buy time here. Dealing damage towards Fluffy, but it might be a mistake as the damage actually comes through towards him. So Rizzo taken out. And Man might be next. Blazing duet by Brands. He finds its mark and Fluffy claims a double. Evo's Glory responds in the 10th minute of the game.
A 3-for-1 trade in the 10th minute, just as you mentioned that Bigatron were holding on to the gold advantage onto the economy. Evo say not for long. And there it
Susah
is,
tu Roji nak
the
main.
space, the neutral
Ini spread
objective.
gila. Ya tu literally
But he opened up a
4-4
portal,
flank low dia ada
They
stun.
don't go for it. That's a lord
Ada sisi.
given to the White
Dia main
Tigers.
trying to use it as a threat somewhat? But Evo's showing again that in a pure fight, they just have everything to win. Just like that, the mid lane turret falls as well. Now with the waves empowered, with the waves pushing, Eagles have this window to try and
Tapi
force
ada Nathan
Bigatron
dengan
to get
Barca.
another fight,
Nathan Barca
or at least
pagi.
force them to give up multiple
3-3
turrets.
burst.
Despite the
So,
fact that they've
Rojinya
been able to
boleh
maneuver around and
di
get an
BKL.
advantage with that macro play, right there, they just got roped into a fight that they really did not need or really want. Super Ken
Tengok.
make some risky moves. No one from Bigatron right now can really tank in the front line. And that is something
Right
that
there.
is just such a big problem against the
Maybe, yeah,
guaranteed
maybe.
almost initiations in the hands of Evos.
And it's
Aduh,
going to
baik.
play head-to-head here between Superkin and Annabelle.
Nathan Roger
Consistently
Parza.
always
Main
2
laju,
levels ahead of Annabelle in
Memang
this
sprinter
game.
tu.
And I still find that so impressive, right? With the volatility of how this game is going, the fact that he's still able to retain that despite, you know, not getting the objectives. What's going on here with Bigatron?
But they were able to let him fall really fast, being on the Roger with such good clear speed. But again, right now at 12 minutes, a lot of people are reaching level 15, are getting to the end stages when it comes to items. Bigatron trying to clear the waves. Once this initial assault is over, they can go back to trying to play the macro game yet again. But they have to be careful. Again, EVOS has shown that they know how to deal with this. And as they go for this purple
Yeah.
buff, Bigatron has no answer.
I'm excited to see the mountains and the rivers in this game. There must be a lot of mountains and rivers.
True.
Right?
I don't think there will be a mountain even, just a hill maybe.
Oh, okay. A small hill.
Yeah,
A hill and a puddle?
maybe.
Puddle. Maybe, with how the game is going. 2.5k gold lead for EVOS equalizing, taking those turrets down.
Kalau
As
BTR
the crowd goes
kalah
wild.
lot next ni tanpa ada casualty,
I
dorang okay lah.
love it.
That's
Tapi
the
kalau
offline
dia
experience.
kalah,
With the entropy.
3
Not
mati,
really finding anything.
GG
They
connect.
want
Oi,
this, Fluffy. We'll
oi.
go back a little. He now stuck, figures out Moreno to
Apa ada?
cover
Itu
James
ada. Oh,
from the flanks with the conceal as
hey,
well.
kalau ada
Just to
orang
perhaps
begitu anjing dua-dua je.
intimidate, saying hello towards Bigatron.
Tak ada orang
But yeah,
pula.
both teams will not commit on towards another big fight.
Dreams on the Edith has the Starlium though, by the way, so if Bigatron are treating him like he's just another utility roamer, they're gonna be sorely disappointed when the Primal Wrath just nukes everyone down. And look at the disengage.
Chill.
Evos aren't
lawa
using
betul, hero
skills
je
and
priming.
whatnot to leave. They just walk away backwards. And Bigatron are struggling to really find anything. Ooh,
Watch
hang on.
T, watch T.
Dreams. Dreams.
Ada orang check dulu.
Oh, blazing duet by Brands. Is this it? He falls from Brands. Dreams finding an angle. Super, can he stop? Pull off and secures the
Jangan,
kill.
bro.
No
Jangan pergi, guys.
No
Aduh.
rumor. And Evo's glory. Red carpet for the Lord.
2-0 trade, a red carpet for that Lord. With absolutely
Dia
no
tak
fighting
mati lah awal
power
lari tu.
whatsoever.
Tapi,
Again,
apa yang dia kena buat, dia
Bigatron
kena lari
have
je.
been outclassed.
Dia tak
with the
boleh, maksudnya
performance from
dia tak boleh TB.
Key
Tak boleh bagi damage, dia boleh lari je.
overstayed his
Aduh.
welcome in that top side, and Dreams was on standby. Dreams set
Maksudnya
up for
dia
that
tak boleh apa.
and was
tak
ready
boleh
to
nak
punish a
open apa-apa.
5,000 gold lead. A Lord
PB
marching
boleh,
in
pergi
the
damage
bottom
boleh.
lane, and 3 waves are crashing. We'll see what the White Tigers have in store for us with the siege.
Oh, Fluffy jumps in with the flicker as well. But Brands, he is ice cold. He finds the kill. Moves back now with the feather edge right by Kwokun.
Baru, Rogernya baru nak berang, kamu dah setengah macam mana anjing?
With the Lord, they're healthy. They have enough
Boleh, Bang.
firepower.
Oh.
One by one. Fall as Evo's glory. They have the match point.
2-0. Wow. 2-0. One more game away of making the Cinderella story come true. Closer and closer to the anime Zero to Hero arc. The crowd goes wild here in Jakarta International Velodrome.
This was supposed to be a game for Bigatron to show what made them the dominant force in the regular season. But it's all coming apart. Evos with the better draft, the better executions, the better team fights. And so far the better results, reaching match point, and even their supporters. A lot louder compared to the one from Bigatron.
Aduh. Sebal.
MPL ID season 13.
2-0 betul.
Day 1.
Jangan doh. Ambil ni.
3-0.
Berhenti doh. Ambil
Chaos
terus je.
Day 2.
Jangan.
First match
Baru-baru.
day 2. Will we get a
Halo,
third
dekat YT
match?
tau. Di YT. Marilah. Marilah.
It looks like it's a pattern again. Hey, I love my
Panjang.
pattern.
Okey, potong lah.
Patterns are great.
Nasuk potong.
Sometimes they're just coincidence.
Fair.
Jangan jahit. Limas.
But man, who would have thought? Especially in the drafting department, we've always said that Bigatron seems to be so many steps ahead from the other
I
teams.
agree.
And yet right here, wow, the roars. Ladies and gentlemen, get used to the roars, man, because Evos are doing amazing. Fluffy's penalty zone brings Bigatron Alpha to their knees almost.
I'm still quite surprised. I'm still in shock. I didn't think that it would end this way. There is still a possibility for, of course, a reverse sweep. So, Evos needs to reset, you know, go back to the drawing board, clear mind, level head to be able to close this series 3-0. But oh my, ladies and gentlemen, Mirko must be shaking in his seat right now.
I'm trying to spot him
Where
in the
is
audience.
he? He was at the top. Was he at the top?
I think we will see Mirko in a bit.
Okay.
In a bit. But, you're right, it's the best of 5. You know, we have yet to see a reverse sweep this playoffs. Maybe this is going to be the first time we are going to witness.
Tapi caster English
that
MPL ID tak best lah.
format.
Still definitely a
MPL main
possibility.
punya caster English
I'm
lagi
just
best lah.
thinking, you know,
10 batu lagi best.
backstage, he was like, easy guys. Oh, Eterna, you're not feeling well? That's fine. we're gonna go home early today.
Acas ni
3-0.
mah benda.
By
What if it's a 3-0 for Evos?
You know, some people might
Is
say
he
that's
cursing
karma.
Hey,
his
ngaku,
own
ngaku.
team?
You know, that's why arrogance always comes before the fall, they say. And for Mirko right now, it must be a very scary situation. And the crowd is not helping him at all. If you can hear through the mic, the Evo's crowd are just ecstatic. And they have every right to be. Their team is just showing up and proving everyone wrong.
Every small movement that Evos makes,
Yeah,
they roar.
that's important.
It's not that. Do you think
Halo.
he's putting pressure onto
Berhenti bodoh. Pink Roger
Because
hyper.
there's absolutely no pressure
Aku tak expect
for
benda tu
Evos right
daripada
now.
biji
Player of
arah.
the game, brand
Aduh lah.
presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung
Berhenti
Galaxy.
ajai. Ambil benda
And-
lain tu.
There have been many voices and
Sampai
many
benda lain
opinions
tu.
that are saying that this man is the weakest link that Evos has among all the other players, especially in this playoffs. But he's shown that in times of his need, he's able to pull through and he's able to perform.
Bosan ambil lagi,
We got
rehat je
Mr.
lama.
Fantastic
Eh,
today.
mana?
It's almost like he always
Apa
has
lah?
great performances with
Beda.
small
Aku
moments
sama
where
je,
you go like,
rehat
oh,
dia.
what was that? You know, the portal, the dash into the towers. They have been moments for sure, but overall, as a player, Brands has been absolutely solid. And it almost seems like he's always calm, collected, even when the game looks weird. He just knows what to do, where to be at the right time. Showing again that experience. He said that that could be something that he brings to the roster, and it'll be a great combination. I mean, we're seeing it work
Sampai
really
main lagi
well right
best.
here as we take a look at the highlights by the official gold partner Ugas Gold. All the way from the early game, despite going up against
Kalau
the
semalam
Chiefs,
maybe lah.
we've seen a lot of teams falter going up against this hero.
Sampai sini game best
But
lah.
not Evos. They were able to power through and man,
Tadi
Fluffy
main
again
Penny
and
tadi.
even from this early on in the game was able to find moments
Kan dia
to
main
be
Penny
so
tu tadi.
effective.
Respect
Penalty
lah.
zones are always on point.
Aduh, aku
and the fact
punya
that
lah
he's so
baru nak
tanky
jadi
and he does so
BTR
much
fanboy.
damage. This was why
Terus.
the Terrorista was so good.
Ni macam mana duk Nathan yang
Kind of
lari
fell
kau cakap aku.
from favor when the
Dia boleh
mobility
terima
from
je,
other
Ajay.
heroes becomes so
Tak,
much
masalahnya
better.
first
But he's
game
able to actually reach
pergi
the
draft.
points so much more than even Sorizo.
Pergi draft Franco. Ni second game draft Roger Hyper pula. Stres anjay.
The layering of skill.
Game on ni,
There
tengok.
you go. The follow up again by Fluffy
Tengok
as well.
lah.
Huge honorable mention, by the way, to Fluffy in this game. That follow-up has always been so expensive, and it was very difficult for BTR to properly engage in this fight, especially for those sitting in the back layer of the game.
And wait for it right here. Evos, they're going for it. And Fluffy sees an opportunity, and everyone just goes in. The synergy, right? The decisiveness.
Tengok Roger ni.
Usually we say all those things about
Ha,
Bigatron,
baru tak berang.
about Onyx,
Ngau dah
even.
setengah.
But Evos right now, in the playoffs, they're looking so clean.
Macam
It's,
mana main?
it's kind of crazy.
Baru
I just wanna
masuk.
know.
Bukan baru
We're gonna
masuk,
get
sorry.
into,
Baru
like,
ni.
what happened, bro? Like,
Ketuk pintu.
how did this come about?
So fun fact is,
Baru ketuk
MP
pintu,
showed
Mat.
the latest
Ngau
episode.
setengah.
Okay.
Anti-Mage was one of the guest speakers.
Yup.
And they
Like
were
a
asking
bounce,
him about
he
his
did
predictions,
angkat
and he was like,
Ido.
Evos. And they're like,
Wow.
it's just because you were in Evos before. It's because you're an ex-pro player from Evos. And he's like, no, because I know Evos. Evos in the playoffs, Evos when threatened is a different monster. It's a different beast.
Very
And
jelas.
we're seeing that, right? 3-0 Liquid yesterday, and now 2-0ing Bigatron Alpha. Sure, we don't really understand, or we don't really know what the
Bicara
outcome
macam
will
boy lama
be,
panas.
but
There's a
already
potential.
Lower ni.
2-0?
Yeah.
Bracket low meta.
That's not the Evos we saw
Low bracket
in the
meta.
regular season. No way.
Evos
Tak
were
ngarut do draft
threatened.
je.
Back then it was match point. Whenever Evos
Early
were
Zomboys
losing,
kalah
it was match point.
apa
they always
bracket
found
dengan
a way to
RSG
go
hari
for
tu
comeback.
bukannya draft
Now it
ngarut.
seems like even
Fight lah
if
juga.
the
Penkalahan.
audience or if
Ini
the
bener
general
je.
public believes they're gonna lose, they're like,
Aduh.
okay, this is enough threat for us. Let's turn on that mode again and just immediately prove everyone wrong. There was such a clean draft as well for Evos. We talked again about the need for a frontline
Sangat
when
clean
you have
draft.
utility. They go for the Edith. They have the Tarizla.
Sangat clean.
So just great combinations right here. And the crazy thing is, it's not something crazy. It's not something unexpected. It's like they almost go back to the bare essences
Bagi
of team
trofi
fighting
kau ni.
and they just pull
Kenapa
through
pula?
and execute cleaner than
Kenapa pula bagi kau
all
ni?
the other teams so
Sedangkan
far.
BTR yang akan champion. Tak faham.
Incredible to see, and I'm absolutely
intense.
am shocked
How shocked?
how Bigatron Alpha
Game kedua macam
performed
draft
these
rank
past
bro.
two games. First
Aku
game,
tak kisah,
that
Paki
Franco
SP
was
lane.
questionable, but in second
Yeah.
game I feel like they have more
Pakai spilin Nathan MMan.
room to play
Dia
around.
apa orang
but
cakap
it's
glass
just their
cannon.
execution that wasn't.
Kayak tapi
As
tiba-tiba
sharp as
Rogernya
it was
hyper
going.
aduh tak minat.
And Brand's
Gaminat.
hesitation from Bigatron Alpha when they were taking
Sebab
fights
apa?
and whatnot, and they
Chipnya
saw
jadi
it
tak boleh nak
and
main. Kau tengok chipnya 06. Kau tahu tak kenapa chipnya 06?
Natan, 0%.
Sebab mana ada orang lain nak DB? Dia seorang eh.
0% still.
Natan 0%
So
today.
semua orang.
Right?
Yeah.
Tengok
Was
chip dia.
Natan at 0%
Tu satu hal,
as well
okay.
yesterday?
So chip dia saja TB tu dah satu problem. Lepas tu
I think so.
hero
I
yang
remember seeing the Nathan really
siapa ni? Yang lainnya Paki Roger jenis menunggu.
good. Eterna is confirming.
Paki
in her
Roger jenis
Eterna
menunggu.
notes.
Menunggu tu maksudnya dia bukannya jenis dia pergi open dulu, dia kena
And the crazy thing in
Ada
particular
ada
for this match is the
momennya.
fact that the Nathan
Ada ruang baru dia
has
boleh
been
pergi
picked
begitu kan.
twice now for
Hero
Bigatron
aku panggil
already.
ni, aku panggil hero bush.
We thought that maybe the Roger was going to be an aggressive
So,
option for
adalah
them to
Nathan
explore.
dengan Parsa saja.
But no.
Parsa lah.
They went
Nathan
back to the
pun
Nathan
dia
here.
tak adalah hero bush sangat.
Even though on paper at least
Tapi
they
dia
had
memang banyak sangat
the
sisi.
chip that wants to go for
Lawan
these
Terry
big plays,
Edit.
wants to
So dia
snowball.
kena main bush
So
juga.
it's almost like a different
So,
approach.
ada
They
chip
wanna
dengan
try and
Parsa
get
je.
the best of
Macam
both
mana, Mat?
worlds. Get the snowball going using the
Macam
portals.
mana?
Have a guaranteed late game
Draftnya lah.
if things don't go their way.
Halo Rul.
Whereas Evos, they just
Hai,
kept going
kau
for
mana
it.
pula Rul?
Like
Kau
with
baru
a
tukar nama.
balanced composition.
Dekat YT pun
It's
dah
less
tukar nama.
gimmicky than Bigatron.
Yeah, 0% win rate. Confirm. The Natan.
They won in day 2.
Day 1, day 2. Day 1, I don't think the Natan showed up.
Okay.
According to my quick scans,
Eternapedia.
The Eternotes.
Aether notes,
Takkan kena 3-0 kan?
and
Kena
Bigatron
3-0
didn't win
aduh.
from blue side.
Aduh.
Yeah.
Halo Bio.
It's like about-
Review PC.
What was it?
Review apa?
80%, 80 something
80%
Tak
more.
tahu
percent.
nak review apa.
And they've just been beaten
Aduh.
at it.
Review PC lah.
Especially for the bigger troopers right here, coming in with that
Balikkan lagi,
feeling like,
mereka
okay, our
juga
guys are gonna do it. They're gonna destroy.
Macam nak flip
It
game
has
tu
to be
kan?
a tough situation to be in. And you are asking Eterna for the landscape,
The
Yep.
terrain.
Aduh.
the
No, guys.
topographical
Ada.
map.
Real
Ada kawan.
estate. All right. I want to know.
Where would your house be?
I have no idea, honestly. Would I put my house in that middle of an island? Would I put it on an island? Maybe that's actually quite fun.
The island in the middle, or is it the one on the right?
Maybe.
The mound.
But this island, these hills, these small lakes, puddles, and eventually the
Under the
ocean
water.
is just representative
SpongeBob.
of
Bibas yang kat
the
titi.
volatility.
Hell,
Yeah.
no. Continue.
No, it's okay. You can continue.
No. It's
Kau yang
making reference to
dekat
it.
titi
Yeah,
tu aku pakai ni ke? Phone
Who said
phone harian.
SpongeBob? Yeah.
Because Gandhi was
Bukan
saying that
Naruto
let's put
je.
your house
Yeah.
under the water.
Put a
I'm
pineapple
like,
in
ah,
the
it's
water.
SpongeBob. Sounds good.
Wow, I think we're gonna see Mirko in a bit.
Okay.
We should get like a segment here where Mirko gets asked for some opinions. I think he has some very strong words. The man has a lot of strong opinions.
I see
I
him.
wonder how confident he's feeling right now, right? Because he's always been confident in Bigatron, even before Bigatron was in their current form.
Why'd you stop?
Hmm?
Why'd you stop?
Well, that's it. He's just always been confident, even when Bigatron is on a slump.
Oh. I mean, he
That's
was
it.
feeling confident and his team went to the upper bracket, so maybe
Tak
that
best
same
tu
confidence
casting English
can be,
MPL ID.
you know,
What the f-
given to Miracle as well. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go on a short break before we continue the
Short
series
break?
to see the match point game.
Eh,
We'll be
betul lah
right
cakap
back.
Daus.
Don't go anywhere.
Lama tu game dia. Tak macam MPL main tu. Masa game dia tak sama lah.
Bigatron Alpha. Tapi nggak hanya tim-tim aja yang bertarung. Karena kalau di stage ini, di stage playoff seperti halnya kemarin, ingat Monica? Kita punya Kidia Play dengan Johnson Race by Samsung Galaxy. Kita akan mempertandingkan perwakilan kita dari MPL melawan audiens di sini. Dan tentu saja,
Apa tuh Bude?
pada mau skin gratis nggak nih?
Aku nggak ada jawabannya, sekali lagi dong. Super fans, mau skin gratis gak?
Mau semuanya. Tapi dengan catatan harus bisa mengalahkan perwakilan dari MPL. Kali ini perwakilan dari MPL kita mau panggilin Monica.
Wah, yang udah siap banget nih kayaknya ya, udah siap tempur banget. Langsung saja kita sama-sama sambut, ada Mirko, our English caster.
Sorry, bukan. Ini bukan perwakilan MPL. Ini lagi Super
Apa tuh?
Friends.
Apa? Oh jadi lagi
Super Friends mode.
Super fans ya.
Halo
Juga
Super
troopers.
Friends, namanya siapa nih?
Halo, nama saya Mirkitron Alpha.
Bagaimana keadaan sekarang? Udah
Oh sorry, nama saya Mirkitron Alpha.
Mirkitron Alva, nama baru ya. Ini Super Friends dari Bigetron, betul?
Betul.
Karena dari bajunya ya.
Iya dari bajunya, betul.
Buka ada lagi dari
Nggak ada. Nggak di prank.
Gak ada ya. Tapi kan ini apakah semangatnya semakin membara nih Mirkitron Alpha ini, apalagi kan ini Bigetron lagi tertinggal dan kita akan mempertandingkan Johnson Race dengan Mirkitron Alpha ini. Kira-kira mau menang apa nggak apa-apa deh, samain sama situasi Bigetron saat ini nih.
Kayaknya kita menangin ya, biar bisa menang juga Bigetronnya.
Oh.
Berarti tergantung Mirko nih. Mirko, beban berat di punggung kamu. Sekarang Bude akan mencari satu audiens yang paling semangat. Bentar, kita akan melihat ya. Jadi dari kru MPL tolongin Bude dan juga Monik untuk mencari satu orang yang kira-kira bisa untuk melawan Mirko. Kemarin Goni kalah. Udah tahu kawan kau kalah kemarin?
Tahu banget. Lagi nonton juga, seru. Lihat Goni kalah.
Oh seru lihat Goni kalah. Tapi lihat juga kepedeannya Goni di awal. Pede banget kayaknya, pasti menang gitu.
Soalnya dia pemain tank, pemain roamer, jadi udah tahu gimana Mikey Johnson kan.
Kalau Mirkitron?
Kalau gua pemain god lane, jadi pasti lebih jago dari Goni lah.
Bentar, Johnson Gold Lane? Ada yang pernah main? Mungkin nanti bisa dipakai. Tapi mana nih? Mana ya? Di mana? Sudah ketemu belum? Mana nih yang bakal menjadi perwakilan dari audiens untuk bisa mendapatkan skin gratis untuk semua yang hadir di sini, semua yang mau redeem. Dan wow, penantang Mirko sudah hadir di sini. Halo, siapa namanya? Fikna. Kamu player Johnson?
Enggak sih, biasanya pakai gauntlet biasanya.
Sama-sama gold lane nih. Sama-sama gold lane, tapi
Bisa Johnson.
bisa Johnson. Siap untuk melawan Mirko?
Siap.
Siap. Dan inilah dia, kita akan langsung saja. Kalian akan bermain 2 lap saja, tapi dengan rute yang berbeda. Jadi rutenya itu nanti akan kayak segitiga. Dan kalian sudah tadi harusnya udah lihat belum tadi? Nanti akan, kita akan
Kita
tampilkan
lihat
inilah
lagi.
dia.
Ini dia mapsnya nanti akan membentuk segitiga dari start point-nya, kemudian ke base-nya, dan muter lagi untuk 2 lap. Jadi yang berhasil 2 lap pertama yang menang.
Makin susah nggak nih Mirko dari Goni kemarin?
Enggak sih, gampang kok harusnya. Masih aman lah ya.
Oke, kalau gitu kita akan bersama-sama countdown. Ini menentukan nasib kita semua nih. Yang ada di MPL, yang ada di playoff untuk bisa mendapatkan skin. Kemarin pasti udah pada dapat, udah bahagia, senyum-senyum. Namun sekarang kita count bersama-sama dari 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start! Ngeng. Ayo, Nino, ini lebih jauh lagi ya. Lebih jauh, jangan sampai lupa rutenya sendiri-sendiri. Sepertinya sekarang nggak perlu tabrak-tabrakan, ketemunya nanti tabrakan pas ada di tengah. Ngeng. Kita challenge Mirko sambil merem apa ya? Kamu lagi fokus kah?
Fokus dikit.
Fokus dikit. Wow, weh.
Wih.
Maaf ya. Maaf nih. Mirko tolong ini.
Mirko.
Apa? Kenapa?
Masih ngelaju aja. Mirko. Panggilin Mirko dong biar kalian bisa dapat skin. Mirko. Nabrak dong.
Kalau tuh kena jalan kaki, wah, apa?
Hilangin fokusnya Mirko ya.
Iya.
Mirko gimana nih pada ngilangin fokusnya Mirko nih?
Ayo biar audiens tahu. Loh.
Mirko ya sampai nggak mau ngomong loh Bu Deni.
Ini
Ganggu-ganggu.
Mirko jumawa masalahnya.
Jadi mau dikasih skin atau enggak?
Mau lah. Wah, ayo dong Bang. Bang, inget rutenya nggak Bang?
Ya ingat, ikut aja Miko. Itu aja.
Ikut Mirko, rutenya nggak perlu muter-muter. Ke base masing-masing, muternya ke base masing-masing. Ngeng, 2 ronde saja. Apakah Mirko
Loh,
sudah
Itu
sampai?
kenapa
Lah, isi delay.
muter-muter? Mirko apa yang terjadi itu muter-muter?
Gak apa, mau kasih waktu aja mungkin buat para viewer dapat skin gitu kan.
Wah, ini masih 18 detik lagi nih masalahnya. Ayo, masih bisa nggak?
Bisa semangat.
Bisa semangat. Bisa semangatnya. Bisa menang
Bisa.
nggak?
Nah,
Bisa menang.
Bisa
Bisa
menang.
membantu gue lah no CD.
Ayo, maju.
Tapi
Gas,
lah
oke.
ini
loh. Recall. Ada apa nih Mirko?
Boleh naik kereta
Sorry,
balik.
kepencet.
Aku pencet.
Pencetnya nggak saja tahu, Ngeng. Mulai ngegas. Dan siapakah yang akan memenangkan pertarungan ini di Johnson Race? Media play kita tentu saja ngegas. Wah, ini jangan lihat Mirko. Lah, lihat layarku. Itu Mirko, ini layarku.
Dia hati aja bodoh ya.
Jadi udah ke distract. Maaf.
Kerisrek. Ini demi skin
Aduh,
untuk
berat,
seluruh
berat.
pengunjung MPL loh.
Udah ini lagi semangat aja dulu.
Lagi semangat aja dulu. Kayak Mirko fokus banget deh. Monika ganggu dulu deh. Mirko. Gimana tuh? Bisa menang nggak? Susah nggak?
Oh gampang banget sebenarnya, tapi mau muter-muter aja.
Ini adalah lap terakhir, tadi sudah 1 lap dan sebentar lagi. Kalau Mirko sampai ini, Mas lihat HP-nya, lihat Samsung-nya. Ini jangan liatin Mirko dulu ini.
Dia
Kalau
tengok
fokus
atas
sama
tuh
diri
ya
sendiri,
isi
Makanya nih.
Saatnya fokus sama diri sendiri. Wah,
Nabrak lagi.
Aduh,
Loh
orang.
ini ketemu loh akhirnya
Recall.
jalan bersama.
Waduh.
Loh Mirko.
Oh,
Loh.
jalan Bang. Ngeng, ayo. Siapakah yang akan menjadi pemenangnya dan? Siapakah yang akan menjadi pemenang? Dan putaran terakhir. Oh, dan ternyata hasilnya dimenangkan oleh Mirko.
Wah, setelah ternyata tadi udah finish line-nya. Udah finish.
Bentar. Bang.
Kayaknya nggak mau berhenti main nih.
Ya,
Kita bunuh dulu.
ayo.
Udah menang Mirko. Aduh, Mirko nih kayaknya jiwa kompetitifnya apalagi ngelihat Bigatron. Kayaknya mau nyemangatin Bigatron nggak ya makanya menang nih.
Pasti dong, harus reverse sweep.
Harus reverse sweep. Tapi kalau kunci kemenanganmu hari ini apa?
Aduh.
Kunci kemenangan main Johnson. Main aja sih, nggak ada kunci kemenangan sih.
Main
Yang
aja.
penting lebih jago dari Goni.
Lama
Oh benar juga.
Go nih.
Kepengen menunjukkan bahwa dia lebih jago dari Goni. Gimana hari ini?
Lumayan berat.
Lumayan dekat. Dan bedanya ini kekalahannya karena beban berat nih harus ngasih skin gratis nih buat audiens di sini apa? Karena gugup nih ngeliat Mirko.
Lebih ke arah deketan kedua-duanya sih. Takut sama berdua, takut sama temannya ngasih skin.
Tapi gak apa-apa, karena kamu sangat semangat loh buat tim kesayanganmu. Karena tim kesayanganmu dan boleh kasih semangat.
Sama juga sih sebenarnya BDR. Cuman aku lebih demen sama Eman sih.
Aman, jaya kayak deh.
Semangat Eman.
Loh, langsung dirangkul sama Mirko pas tahu. Jadi Mirko,
Bestie gua ini harusnya gua kasih menang loh.
Iya, ya. Tapi sudah selesai. Dan hari ini kita belum bisa membagikan skin, namun masih akan ada esok hari
Betul.
atau lusa atau di hari grand final karena setiap harinya akan ada Media Play, ada Johnson Race. Jadi buat kalian yang ada di sini, jangan sampai kalian kelewatan. Siapkan dirimu untuk bertarung untuk mendapatkan skin gratis untuk kita semua. Dan sepertinya yang nggak sabar juga pastinya para player dan super fans semuanya untuk menyaksikan seperti apa lanjutan
terima
permainan
ribunya.
di game ketiga match point untuk EVO's Glory. Siapakah yang akan mendapatkan game ketiga? Mari kita beri semangat untuk Bigatron Alpha dan EVO's Glory.
Mirko, give the phone back. Give the phone back. He pocketed the Samsung phone as soon as he won. Did you see that? He put it in his pocket and he was like,
He thought he was slick with it.
He needs some win, all right? He needs some win.
Okay. It's okay. We'll give it to him.
His team is down 0-2.
Okay. It's okay, Mirko.
Maybe he needs a slight win.
Okay. That's fine. That's
Halo
fine.
Benny.
Well,
Kau IT
I
Benny.
wonder how he's feeling. He seems
Di
still
YT, di
very
YT.
confident. He was just, it's no problem, no big deal, right? All calm, collected. But Mirko, if you guys didn't know, has a very good poker face.
It's called copium.
How would you know?
There's also copium, so yes. So I think
Ui,
he's looking
lama
confident, but
tu
he
gap
has to
dia.
be shaken quite a bit.
Halo Azim.
I've had a lot of copium over the
Welcome.
years.
Oh, I can relate.
Lama anjay gap MPL ID.
At least you won
Aduh, aku
once.
rasa double siap.
More than once. How many times has RQ won
I
MPL?
mean-
3? 2? 3?
I don't think copium is in my dictionary.
Copium is not in your dictionary. Okay, all right.
Except for 5.
Look at the camera and come
Do we
clean,
call
Goni.
AP Bren right now? Falcons AP Bren now?
Hello, can you please put Goni back in his place?
I mean, like, even if
Dua
Onyx
silam.
make it to the playoffs,
Welcome.
they're gonna have to face off again.
Benny. Ke YT lah Benny. Aduh.
Okay. Go on. What's your point?
What color is
Kami
your
nak MPL ID
MSC?
sebab ni
My
lah.
color is
Aku
Games
tak
Max
tahu dong
Booster.
game punya macam gini.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Tell us.
you
Sumpah.
guys are watching your favorite team compete. I bet you guys want to play too, right?
Beza lah.
You're
Lama
being
dia.
Free of a lag.
Beza
You
gila
guys
lah.
can actually do that using the game's Max Booster. Starting from 25k IDR, you guys can get up to 36 gigabytes of data. So hurry up and buy the package.
Dah lah buat Racing
Using
Johnson
the
tapi tak
Dunia
buat no
Games
CD.
app. Woo.
Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Activated in that, Dunia Games app or DGA to have Games Max and lag free.
You don't
What
want
is lag?
120 ping.
You don't have lag in your dictionary.
Imagine
Awal lah,
120
player dah
MS,
masuk, bye.
200 MS.
Tak
Even
je lah, aku
double-digit
nak
MS.
punya mak
Ew.
ni.
Say goodbye. Say goodbye to that lag if you're utilizing the
Yuckies.
Games Max Booster. Yuck.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Low FPS. Brother.
And you guys are gonna need
Production
it. You
tak
know
best lah.
why?
Tak best.
Why?
Casting
Why?
English dia.
Only
Casting English
S24
MPL
Epic
mai
Gaming
lagi best lah.
Fun match.
Okay.
Daripada
Right?
ni.
Don't forget
Jauh lah,
about
jauh.
this event because there's not only one, but there are going to be 3 exciting events with guest stars. R7, I bet you know who R7 is.
Okay.
Bonzi, I bet
Okay.
you know who Bonzi is on Team Galaxy. So there will be a coaching clinic, a mabar or a main bareng. It
Playing
means
together.
playing together. There's going to be those sessions and a meet and greet. They're all happening on the same day. So please, ladies and gentlemen, do participate in this. And of course, participate in the Team Galaxy Zone. What are you doing if your device is not Samsung? Because with Samsung, you guys can actually go sit up out front with Dean Kate.
Tak, player
There's
dah ada dekat
Natasha.
atas stage.
Ada
Buat apa
ni.
lagi anjay?
Okay.
There's so many KOLs up front. You could even sit with this guy up front as he
Lord.
roars in your
Kacau.
face.
The
Exactly.
Roar Master.
I'd love for him to roar.
Oh, MPL ID tak pakai
I-
ROG.
In my
Siapa?
face. What?
I love when the
see.
camera shakes.
Arashi would shake too.
Arashi would shake too.
I mean, how could you not, man? It's terrifying.
But you'd want him to roar in your face, right?
Absolutely not.
I mean, it's been working, right? Yvonne's
yeah.
Glory with his roars past that first day.
True.
And they might
Adin,
stay in the
on
upper
game tak
brackets,
malam nanti?
having this.
Habis Nobar ni kita off jap.
That's also true.
Ni habis dalam pukul apa? Pukul 10. Pukul tu? Pukul 10, 11 tu.
Man.
Wow.
And then off jap.
So we're
Pergi
back,
makan.
ladies and gentlemen, at
Pukul 1 kita live balik.
points.
Tapi live dekat
If they
TikTok ah.
win, if they succeed, they will continue
Ni sebab
forward
nak
in
Nobar.
the playoff run, up in the upper brackets
Halo
to
IW.
go head-to-head against the
Marilah
Magic
ke YT saya.
because the robots' revenge failed.
Marilah.
And Evo's
awal lah
several
drama
challenges on in the upper bracket
Koyak
finals. So
anjay.
it's upper bracket finals.
Aduh
They're
lah.
one step away of going to the upper bracket finals.
Considering how they started, that is definitely a very impressive situation. Roar Master here, getting a lot of spotlight.
Okay,
Well, this
he's recharging.
he's even recharging because he's
Yeah.
roaring so much. What is going
He
on?
needs some energy.
Now the crowd in the stands also, man, relentless is the word you would use. Every single time, every single moment, they've been so loud for so long. It's almost surprising. It's almost terrifying. Especially if you are on the opposite side, it has to be a very intimidating feeling.
Look at the Bigot Troopers. It's like, guys, come on. We have to figure a way to, beat them. What chant? Which chant are we going for here? And they're like, I don't know. How to be louder than Evo's fans?
What to say?
What?
What about?
What is he gonna say?
Di atas langit ada Onyx.
Di atas langit ada Bigatron.
Akhirnya, holy shit. Aku
That's
20
Miracle's
menit,
favorite
setengah jam.
song.
Yeah. He sings
20
it every
menit,
day.
setengah jam juga akhirnya.
It's like his ritual.
Even in his sleep.
Exactly, yeah.
It's quite
would, though,
scary,
Rashi.
actually.
I would. Yes.
We can hear it across the hallway. It's a fact, ladies and gentlemen. You know what's also a fact? We're heading straight to the drafting phase. Arashi, let's get a bit serious again, okay? Because for sure, Bigatron have been expecting that they would go to the final upper brackets with Onyx. And at some point meet again in the grand finals. So what has been going on? Is there something that they need to fix here in the drafting phase for them to extend the series a bit longer?
Ini dengan chip lah guys ha.
Well, in the first game, the Herald
Jangan
definitely
Roja
stands
hyper
out
lagi,
as
dia
a
ambil
problem.
Roja hyper
In the
lagi.
second game,
Sumpah
that's where we
guys.
had our eyes on the Natan.
Bagi golin lah
Like,
bang,
okay,
bagi
why
golin.
is this Natan so prioritized?
Siap, okay.
So we'll have to see. Right now,
Sepik,
Bigatron
sepik,
once
okay?
again got their hands on the
Masih
global
ambil bola
presence,
lawan over
but
it.
Evos has shown that they
Nice.
can deal with it, right? So now it's up to Bigatron to make changes to try and find a different formula, even if they want to go with the age-old global presence here. Whereas for Evos, Claude and the Fredrin once more. Earlier it was a Valentina, and it really seems like Bigatron might have felt like that Valentina was a big problem, so they abandoned it away.
I mean, even in the previous game, they picked up Fredrin, Claude, and it worked, right? So perhaps they are trying to somehow draft something similar in this game. And with that, they're going to add
Camila.
Knowing in the
Akhirnya.
previous game, Camille was banned in the second phase. Let's pick it up early.
Dan di sana dok. Sumpah.
Against Chip. It does make sense.
They were the first
Sumpah,
person, the
bembelan
first team to
aja.
actually come up with this Camilla in the Rome, in ID, obviously, as a counter towards this chip. But we've seen that Valoisky can maneuver around that quote-unquote counter. So with he as the pilot behind this chip,
Ganggu doang daripada tadi.
there is still a
Backline
loophole
you
for this
start
to
pula, man.
still work out. But what I find surprising is that the Angela has been completely ignored, despite it being in the keys to victory. We talked about it backstage. It was actually banned out in the first 3 games as well, but sorry, 2 games. But here, completely left open, ignored.
You just haven't seen the same kind of playstyle, right? The one man with the hard guard demolishing everything. So maybe if someone like that pops up here in the drafting phase, the Angela can be more prio.
Lorin.
But instead of the Angela, they ran with the new song,
Lorin
Bigatron,
tadi chip.
hinting at a vulnerable backline once
Lorin.
more. The Roger, this time, certainly will go to the
Lagi
goal
ni kan
lane, into
sana
the
tu.
boxer presence. But
Ben
with
aja,
Bigatron,
Ben aja.
sometimes you never really know.
He would not.
Kita maybe Pinova.
So Evo's Glory, straightforward. They want to ban the mid
Oh.
laners out here. Thermos and as well as Gord here.
Okay juga. Speed lah.
They're strangling
Macam
Moreno.
tak sinkron lah dengan chip ni.
And the
Let's
Gord
see.
It's a great pick,
Boleh
especially
kok,
if
boleh
you
kok
try
dengan
and
chip.
force
Boleh.
the chip to not be able to
Ke
roam
sana,
around
Dok.
by using wave clear.
Ben aja, ben
Gord is
sana.
a very good option. So it won't be
Gila.
available. And
Gila.
the Gyros ran away for Bigatron. I haven't
Apa
seen
yang
it in
pilih
a while.
ni? Dia main Esme tau kata.
What's the plan? What's the plan with the Dyroth man here? Do they think that Annabelle might utilize it in the jungle? You know, flex the Fredrin into the EXP lane? Do they think it's going to be placed in the EXP lane?
You might be thinking it might be Fluffy, right? Fluffy has
Back
those
sana.
crazy
Back
pocket
sana.
picks in the EXP lane. And
Pasal
against the
bagi kau tu
Baxia,
kan.
that could be a bit of a problem. for sure.
Paksa, oke.
That being said though, this could be a chance to bring out the Angela in the mid lane for Bigatron, right? It doesn't seem like the worst of ideas, considering the composition with the Roger, with the Baksha as well.
Ayun na.
With the
Yan
Nobar
kami na.
though, any kind of surprise.
Nobar
ambush
kami
push
lahat,
from
di ba, Jam?
Bigatron will be
Lambat,
nullified
lambat,
quite a
lambat.
bit.
Lambat.
It does help with vision.
Global Dilaw.
For sure. This
Bring
Novaria
the ready. Saro.
What?
Okay.
Sicilian, a debut pick for Moreno. This is a signature Bigatron pick from back in the day. I mentioned it earlier on when we were talking about how Bigatron loved to play in the late game back from Season 7 up until the change in roster because of the signature Sicilian pick in the mid lane. And we're seeing exactly that. But it's so vulnerable. It's so susceptible in the early game. Clearing is also an issue in the early game because of the mana usage. It's going to be quite interesting to see what emblem that the Sicilian goes for. And it will be accompanied in with the CC. Evos will close it off with a Paquito. Arashi, your thoughts on the Sicilian pick?
Definitely dangerous looking at the composition right now. With the chip as well.
Tengok draft.
Maybe
100%.
enter the portal.
Bicar menang eh. Okay? 100%.
The Sicilian will be right up close and personal to a lot of those danger
Tapi.
sources of threat. If
Tapi.
you want to look at the previous game, the way Bigatron was playing it out, macro play and solid wave clear in the mid lane, it can be used that
Tapi
way, but
BTR
going
pun
to the
macam
far
tengah
side, less
pingtong.
mobility, less burst, but I guess later on, there's that late game super scaling potential. It's almost like Bigatron can't really win in the snowball.
Satu, baik, boleh
They'll
sampai ke
set their
Cecil ke?
eyes to go back to
Lode
the
tu.
west and take this game to the late
Lode
stage.
full item. Cecil full item.
Early game it didn't
Lode
work for
ulti.
them. The mid game didn't work for them, and now they're
Lode
going to be
ulti, Cecil
banking
ulti
on
sama.
the late game. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to match point
Aku nak Cecil boleh lari
between
lah.
the battle of
Betul.
the red robots and the white tigers. The number one on the standings, the number one contenders for the next Kings of the Galaxy titles. They are caught in a bad position. And if they lose this, they are going to be forced down in the lower bracket to meet up with Geek. And let's jump in to the Coliseum. Let's jump into the land of Dawn.
Well, we're going to be looking at the clear speed difference. Bigatron, though, they have the pressure in the mid lane here. The Chip and the Sicilian working well with each other in the early game, at least for a while.
Rembat.
Actually, the clear from Sicilian isn't really that terrible, especially with how the clearing
Keren
is done
tadi.
right now with two members together.
Kejang.
It's not too bad. You can see Iman already exerting pressure as much as possible.
Susugi.
Already a more
Wah,
aggressive
betul
set
memang jahat bodoh.
of lanes
Kasihan.
for the side of Bigatron. Can they find the opportunities
Kalau
though?
dia dapat
Already
ni kan,
going into the
memang
jungle
gigi
to
lah.
try and steal some resources.
Rounds with the Aegis
Oh,
though.
aku ingat dia nak dinosaur tu.
He's
Oh,
expecting
anjing,
a
dia
lot of
dinosaur.
damage coming his way. Especially
Dinosaur tu orang
against
imun punya
the
memang lah.
Sicilian. That could be
Petri.
the reason why he went for it, but man, that is definitely unusual. But look at this.
Oh, Annabelle,
Aduh.
1v3 situation. Blocker
Oh.
will not be able to do
Mati-
much, but
Naga.
there you go.
Ni, mati
Choice of
tu,
Pops
pagi ni.
Vengeance collects the first blood and get out.
Itu tu,
Okay,
pagi ni.
whoa. Oh,
Tidur.
one more Moreno. Bigatron, old school Bigatron, right? With that Sicilian add.
Bodoh, Pred
More
ni
kills
miskin gila
to the board.
bongkok. Batu
Interesting
kumbang
situation
dino
right
semua.
here with
Dia makan
Sicilian.
buff ke?
We were thinking it might be a
Dia makan buff
late
eh?
game angle for Bigatron, but that Sicilian has been a lot more active
Ya, tu
and
tak-
actually a
bodoh.
lot
Bahasanya
more
tak ambil-ambil merah
effective
dari
right
tadi.
here in the early game. Able to spam out the bad impacts like that certainly
Betul,
is a
betul.
big plus.
Betul
when
ke
you're in
Russo
a
biru?
big skirmish.
Betul ke Russo biru?
Not stacks though.
Betul,
We weren't expecting a Moreno to be able to do that much damage. But with that pressure, with that success, now they're
Ya, Russo
really
biru.
going for the neutral objective.
Ada kill.
Below 50% of its HP.
Pergi merah ke?
But with that,
Merah sendiri ya.
Again, will collect the turtle, no problem. Oh, another invasion.
Tarik.
And Annabelle will go
Tarik,
down for
tarik.
the second time this game. Wow. 2,000 gold already. 2.5 minutes, and you can see here just a lot of action. Bigatron, they're not messing around here. Game 3.
They're
Betul.
falling behind.
Paki
And
si target
Annabelle,
lah.
he was
Game
very
ni.
late to that level 4 and he was still even focusing
Tak tahu
on his
macam mana
own
BTR nak
buff.
kalah game ni. Sumpah.
And Super Ken being
Kau
able to
tengok
very
Ba-
easily pick up that
bahasanya mana dia
neutral
farm
objective.
punguk jungle ni. Jungle
Very
dia.
interesting. We mentioned this, right, with the Sicilian, that
Kenapa?
perhaps they would bang
Ah!
on towards the lady, but Annabelle
Tak
steal it away.
dapat lah. Macam mana
No,
tak
okay,
dapat je?
Annabelle still gets it.
How?
Super Ken now caught in a no man's land.
Macam mana tak dapat Jo?
Here, receiving a lot of damage, taunted and taken down, blazing the web though with the
Macam mana tak
Ignis
dapat bye?
to somehow assist
What
to
the
take
heck?
Key down. Now,
Oh,
top
no.
lane,
CC.
Amon in wolf form, Branson Beams trying to make things up,
Tidur
here,
aja.
trying to set things up. Amon still able to sustain the damage. And there you go.
Tricky
Evolve
dia hilang lead.
found compensation in that
Segitu
trade.
saja. Tak
Oh,
dapat.
hang on a minute.
Tak dapat.
Who got that purple buff?
Tak dapat.
Denied
Dapat
from
next.
Super Can. We'll have to wait and see, but Evos. It seems
Ah,
like they
they
were
play
on the
over,
back foot
yes.
for a while, but this is what
Benar.
happens. They just find a way, find the momentum to go in. Brands though, might be the target here.
Wait a minute, shortcut just in time. And with that, Bigatron collapse onto his Rams and Annabelle again. Two members down and out. 1,500 lead already established for the Red Robots.
It's jumping back and forth, but Bigatron definitely have picked up the pace once again with Key on the chip. The fact that it can facilitate these cross-map play and that movement has been very, very valuable for Key to set up these ganks. Meanwhile, Dreams already on the way to help Brands out in the lane. But again, Bigatron using this as a distraction as they start to set up for the neutral objective.
Aduh.
Super Ken's already there.
Moving around, but in the
Sebab
bounce,
kalah dekat
Fluffy is
merah
looking for an
Predi
opportunity. Annabelle
level
though
dia
takes
sama
the
balik.
aggression.
Aduh.
Almost taken down for the fourth time there. But yeah,
Aduh,
with that,
aduh.
the second
Tapi
turtle
golin menang
will
bawah.
be claimed by the Red Robots, no problem. And 5 minutes in, it seems like it's a Bigatron game already even with a Sicilian in their comp.
Now they're gonna try and maintain that kind of pressure and really look at Key and his positioning. Especially waiting around for the next big play, the next big opportunity. And even in the goal lane, the fact that Iman is now independent means that they can be more active. But Sorizo baiting out Fluffy.
Oh, with the conceal as well. He helps out with the shortcut
Wah.
as well
Wah.
again.
Betul
And
tu.
Moreno will
Baru
secure
5
that
minit
kill.
game, ah.
The first turret in
Damage
the game
kecilnya
will be
macam
taken
gitu.
out there in the bottom
Satu
side of the
ban
map.
tadi. Betul.
Scaling Sicilian is not
Satu
the
bar.
best of Sicilians that you want to see, right? 2-0-4.
Kecil
And
menggendong.
that's
Kata
gonna
Bang
keep
Nobar.
on scaling.
Dua
He's
kosong
gonna
empat
keep
dia.
on getting those stacks, and that's a problem. The faster he gets to those items, the more important that it is to shut
Anjir.
him down. And
Keep
so
the
far, the
item
White
boleh
Tigers
ambut.
have not been able to do that. So, Emon is not only the looming danger that Bigatron have right now, they also have Moreno.
Kalau aku tak suka tu. Tak ada base HP tu. Kenapa aku tengok base HP dia? Dapat rendah. Tapi game tengah menang boleh lah.
And Key coming
Game
here
tengah
to
menang
try
boleh
and
lah.
back Iman out, but that's because
Tengah menang.
the shortcut can be used relatively soon. They're going to play for the purple buff though.
Oh, tak boleh lari paki
Or
dia.
this is not it, man. Keep finding the kill. Another as well. Annabelle.
70%. Pindah dia win.
Now,
100% lah.
Walkun
100%.
Actually under pressure. And the mid
Alah
lane
BTR aku botak weh.
turret is also very low here. Things are not looking very stable.
Tahu
for
macam nak
side
kalah.
of Evil's Glory.
Macam.
Top lane, they
Lika
want
dia.
it,
Tak
they
payah
want
fikir
it.
banyak.
Collapse onto his
Tak
Brandon,
payah
they
fikir
get
banyak
it.
pun.
Sorizo
Belikan
finds the
dia.
killing spree.
They're not letting them breathe whatsoever.
Yep.
It's a complete
Tiada
turn
ruang
of
bernafas
events
untuk
for
Evos.
game number 3. 4,000, 5,000 gold lead now.
Wow.
Amounted, collected by the Red Robots, and Annabelle is even struggling in his own jungle. He's gonna be able to get it, but they forced a retribution out, and this is gonna be another turtle. The third turtle,
Tiga
by the
turtle.
way. Completely clean
Tiga tower.
for Bigatron.
Just doing a
Kalah
lot
juga
better
tahu
right
lah
here,
BTR.
having all the control, and even if they're spread out, we saw that actually Bigatron really does well in these situations when they can be creative with their approaches. As Fluffy gets jumped on again.
Yeah, 3v1.
Memang
Shortcut
setiap kali
don't
kena
need
langgar
it.
terus tidur
The
bongkok.
Bakito will fall again. And with that, more space will be taken away from Evo's Glory. Almost there, bottom side. taken out. But Super Can, this might be a
Guys,
mistake,
mungkin buah
right?
lagi.
Oh, it's they
Buah
will give it
lagi,
out for Super Can,
guys.
no help whatsoever. Prison's right
Buah lagi,
desperately. A
guys.
little too ambitious there and punished
Aduh.
severely by Evo's Glory.
They finally get a little
Memang
bit
dia baru
of a
mati
trade
dua,
back,
tapi
but
dua
even
kali dia
then,
mati
that's
tu. Mati
only
yang
onto
apa orang cakap?
Super Ken. Annabelle does get
Mati yang
his purple buff finally. But what's the plan, right? They have completely lost control over their own side of the map. They want to go for contests. There's just so much damage, there's just so much maneuverability, there's just so much space and unpredictability that he offers on the chip. And it's become a problem. We haven't seen Dreams becoming that quote-unquote counter towards the chip whatsoever.
There really hasn't been a situation where Evos are ready to receive the big shortcut play. And that's
Betul, Dami.
partially to key. It's not generally
Jutaan
going in
jauh
with the
Vincent
shortcut.
letak Roger kat
Something
goal
just
lane.
goes in and threatens. And if he
Tak
doesn't
semua
see
boleh
that
verify
it's
itu
a
je.
quick pickup,
Lagi
it's a
satu
quick
Roger
done
kat
and done
Roger
deal
goal lane,
where
tak
Dreams
payah
can't come in
retry kan.
with the curse.
Tak payahlah nak
You will
duduk
go for
pada
it.
depan sangat.
Oh,
Ini Roger jungle lah. Aduh.
What a fight though.
84 siap.
Committed.
Nanti
Again,
kami
Brands now.
Tapi tak boleh.
He's
Ibu
wasting
tengah tak ada
the weapon,
damage.
not enough
Oi,
damage.
tak apa.
Out.
Jepret dia sakit
Dreams
ah.
is there to cover. Annabelle finds slides away from that fight. No casualties
Cantik ah Kamilanya
from that
tangkap.
team fight.
Tapi diorang tengah tak duit kan.
Very close fight right there.
Bagi aku
Both
dia tempat
teams
tu Nobar
finding
tadi.
ways to be relevant. But in the
Sebab
end,
Kamila
Biggest
punya
have
tu
a
tak
bit
adalah
more
lama sangat
control.
tau.
They
Kamila
have
punya
more
apa yang
active
link tu.
team, and they'll be able to go for the Lord and
Macam
take it
Warlock punya
away.
skill satu.
Evos, although showing that they are not going
Tu
down
bila dia
without a
ambil
fight,
Nova,
are
lambat
still
nak
absolutely
follow up
on the back
damage.
foot. They gotta wait for a bit longer to get some items.
Patut
for
tadi dia
Fluffy to be able to
Barca
get,
ke,
for Brands
Besana
to be
ke,
able to
gitu kan.
do damage with the blazing duet. So much
Nobar.
that Bigatron can't really ignore it. And of course for Clockun, can never
Sebab
ignore that
Nobar ni
late
dia
game
memang pedih, tapi
Novaria
dia lambat.
presence.
Ah,
But
tu
for
lah.
now they have to wait
Lambat.
and just defend.
Kalau
And then the
timing
tankiest of
Nova
front
tengah
liners,
tarik
so
second
Bigatron
skill,
are definitely
tiba-tiba
looking
dia
for
boleh
opportunity.
moment,
And that's the
okey.
key.
Tapi itu macam mana nak rancang aja.
Playmaking tools aren't
Tak boleh nak
there.
rancang mat. Itu macam kalau jadi
Hotfight
luck
low,
je.
still able to regenerate. But you're right. Brands has only 2 items.
If you compare that to Eman, Eman's already on the 3rd item and he's going with Brand's own
Roger dia
approach.
lebih
We
satu
saw
item,
the
bu.
number 1. He's going for the attack speed
Aduh.
build. He wants to be relevant all the way till the late game. But this game might not even go that far as they make a move for the base turrets when the Lord is just so far back.
Dia tunduknya lembab je.
They have the range.
Is that
They can play with the range here, and that is scary. I wonder how many stacks Moreno has right now, because if it's at that 100, almost 200 mark, then that's when the damage is seriously going to ramp up with for him. What was his item earlier
Mesh
on?
ada
Do
sisi
you
tu lah, boleh
recall?
lah. Basically Mesh laju lah. Yang damage-nya
And
instant kan.
Iceman one.
Yang bila-bila nak terus dapat.
He's getting jumped on by
Bagus,
Fluffy. He
Ui, boleh
finds the
keluar
kill.
pula.
Blazing duet by Brands. But Moreno denies the play. It's a 1-for-1, 1-for-2.
Dia kamikaze.
Now Evo's will have space to
Tapi
clear
dia
the
boleh keluar lah,
Lord.
Anjay.
Base turret quite low in the mid, but it's still up.
I think tonight Brands is going to be having nightmares about bats. Because that was a bad impact to end his life. What in the world is that damage? Boom!
Satu lagi.
Even on the fly.
Oh!
Moreno
Was.
collects the unstoppable man.
Puas.
This does not seem like Moreno. Is this
Dah lah pakai
Rembo
cicil.
playing?
Cicil collector kan ni kan. Ui.
505.
Lagi
He's
lah
channeling his inner Renbo here. He's dangerous. Annabelle wants to look for something though.
Oh my god, Brands deals enough
Hook.
damage.
Tak rasa bunguk
Unfortunately,
kat Pret.
it was Dreams.
Mesti belum siap
collects
banned
the
kan?
shutdown.
Aku rasa
Again,
dia belum siap
Brands
banned.
already online seems like with
Tak masuk. 3 kali dia
Three
balik
items
satu
already
bam
collected, so-
terturun.
to say that he's not ready. That's not the case.
Tunjuk lah item.
definitely do damage if he's
Item
allowed
kecil.
the space to do so. But he has to be careful. He did go with the Aegis, so he has a bit more tankiness to play around with. But we saw that if he just goes in randomly, Moreno right now, with his bat impacts, can do upwards of 1,000 damage. And that was before the Divine Glaive.
Bersiap.
Now with the Divine Glaive, even the
Baru
frontliners
siap. Tadi tak
are
ada
not
minute.
safe.
Tu tak masuk.
Even Annabelle, he went with the Radiant Armor, not an
Sekarang
Athena.
tengok.
So if he
Suruh
just walks up
Pret
and
je tahan lagi
occasionally
macam tadi.
takes a massive
Kita
back
tengok,
impact,
tembus
he's
tak
gonna
tembus.
get chunked down way lower before the fight even begins. He has a
Pendek
Sky
boleh,
Guardian
ah.
helmet, I believe, for that exact reason, but he still has to be careful in his approach, especially in these big fights.
Talking about Moreno, right?
Bennett
The
kena
game
ban tadi.
effect
Tak ada
by
sih.
Gope. This is the debut of Sicilian in
Ini
MPL
disebut
ID
revive tu.
Season 13. Wait a minute.
Aduh, Long ni siapa tadi?
Portal?
Dah.
He was stunned. Evo's glory.
Sudah nak
They
ingat
will
nama
not
gua
be
ni,
hasty,
aduh.
though. They will find Andrew Chorizo airborne as well. He in the front side flickers back. Annabelle receives a lot of damage with Fluffy. Will deal damage on towards He. Now the collapse
Kalah tu.
Brands finds the shutdown.
Kalah tu.
Banon
Cicil
secures
dengan
the
Glory
trade.
ni.
Now Brands and Dreams trying to find the double.
Padahal fair
There
tu.
you go, Evo's
No way.
Glory. They want to collapse. So Rizolo, they will back away. Evo's Glory finds the 3.
They're running for the hills. Clocken.
Fluffy.
Apa jadi dengan Cecil?
Evo's Glory. They will not be hasty though.
Dia buka
They
ulti
will
ke tak
find
sebenarnya?
Tom
Buka.
Archer, Chorizo airborne as well. He in the front side
Oh, ulti
flickers
dah
back.
habis aku rasa.
Annabelle receives a lot of damage from Fluffy.
Mati pun
Will
tak dia.
deal damage on
sudah
towards
habis
He.
lah.
Now the
Ulti dah habis.
Made contact there, but they were still able to dodge around. 3 members taken out for the price of 1. And look at Brands go ham on these
Parah sikit lah.
objectives.
Kalau Claudine dia
Turrets
buat
are
macam tu hari-hari
falling
parah.
left and
Oh, tapi
right.
nanti dia bawa
The
winter
space has
kan.
been given. Super
Memang
Scan
betul lah
still
Cecil.
able to save
Play game.
his purple buff.
Okay.
And the crowd
Play
goes
game.
wild
Kena winter.
once
Dah ada winter
again.
aku tu,
Eagles
okay.
fans are celebrating here in Jakarta
Winter.
International Velodrome.
That's interesting though. Oh, Fluffy now.
Yang.
He collapsed on.
movement on towards Fluffy.
Memang bodoh. Memang
Just
tak
like in
boleh
the
nak
early game,
tidur.
Fluffy will not be able
Setiap
to
kali
escape. He
Jim
will
ni
fall
langgar.
again for the 6th time. And with that, 1,500, 1,000 gold lead almost here. Still in favor of the Bigatron Lord. Area is actually controlled mostly by Bigatron members. Let's see how will Evo's Glory respond. Dream stunned. Key looking for an engage. So again, Poisson's early. Annabelle though. Oh my god, look at the damage he's receiving. He might fall
Oh,
here.
kena knock-up lah.
It
Oh,
will
sampai mati
be
dia.
Baran's. That's a mistake. Bigatron Alpha finds a loophole. 3 members, 2 members taken out. Potentially 3 here. Dream still
Tak,
with
Claudine
the
ni mati dengan apa
mortality.
ni?
Baran's.
Claudine mati dengan apa, Jok?
So again, Poisson's early. Annabelle though. Oh my god, look at the damage he's receiving. He might fall here. But it will be for an
Dia beli ke
engage.
mana guys?
So again,
Dia
Poisson's
beli ke
early.
tengah-tengah
Annabelle though.
Cecil tu ke?
Oh my god, look at the damage he's receiving.
Oh
He
ya
might
tu.
fall
Lepas tu
here.
kena
But
Cecil.
it
Terbang.
will be
Waiting for the Lord, Ken.
take
Aduh.
Evo's Glory. Lost 2 important members.
Dia beling
Two
depan muka
members
Cecil
down,
guys.
base turret. On a zero
Memang lah,
HP, they're gonna
nombor.
go for it without waiting for the Lord. Can they do it?
Yeah, let's see. Dreams still up. Minions now spawned, but the damage will be enough to take Dreams down. Lockdown Fluffy versus 5
Mana Freddy? Aku nak
members
tengok Cecil
of
lepas Freddy.
Bigatron, and soon the 6th man of the Lord will come as well.
Oh, kena.
Annabelle Grand's back. Lock on! Taken out.
Wah, baru dah
Now they will
box.
find a response here.
Ah,
With the super taken out, Annabelle
50%,
looking for a
20%
kill
hilang,
as well.
12 lah.
But the Lord needs to be taken care of. Bottom
Kami Cecil
side
dia lempang
still up, but
50%
top
hilang
lane
pada dia
will fall.
Barulah.
Now Annabelle and Brands looking for the defense
Berbom.
with the
Wah,
Lord still up.
baru
And
dah
Bond
oh.
stealing a lot of damage, and Brands will fall as well. Ladies and gentlemen, today there will not be a clean sweep. Bigatron forces series on towards the
Cecil pick tadi
game
tu memang
4.
memang mantap lah. Memang mantap.
Moreno.
Inilah BTR.
This man
Aduh.
Wow.
had so many respect
Barulah
bands
BTR.
given toward him. Valentina Luoyi. They took away his heroes time and time again. He suddenly pops off in what potentially was the last game in the debut of their playoff performance. And they bring out a Sicilian, and it works?
Going old school, ET car. With the old school build as well. Why not?
Kita tengok
It
lama
works, it
lah
works.
game eh.
And just like that, an insane turn of events. Eagles, despite moments of brilliant end, they were absolutely shut down by the red robots. There's a pattern. We're talking about patterns again and again. There's a chance, absolutely, for a reverse sweep right here. A lot of pressure now for Eagles to try and regain that momentum. Bigatron are the ones on fire. Ravens are looking very counter-breaking for the side of Eagles. They're still match points. But Bigatron, what a response.
I mean, Grand Final Season 7, it was Bigatron that were leading. And then Evos came back after that 2-1. So could we be seeing a repeat of history, but on the opposite sides? Could it be a 2-0 lead for Evos and Bigatron completely reverse sweep?
A lot of opposites today for sure. Even the Sicilian, supposedly late game hero, was just doing work all the way from the early game. What is going on with Mobile Legends right now, man? Nothing
Dekat YT
makes
nak habis
sense.
game lama. Dekat TikTok kejap je.
Yeah, I mean,
Tak faham. Nak habis game
just
macam
the
mana?
coordination, right? I feel like he also deserves
Apa maksud
an
nak habis
honorable mention. He
Aduh, gap ke maksud kau?
enables a lot of
Sama je
plays
kalau
with that
gap.
shortcut.
Dua-dua live yang sama.
The ganking, top lane, bottom lane, all isolated members technically, and that was just a big kill. That's the foundation of Bigatron's
925 ah.
Yeah, he was so valuable, right? He facilitated for so much pressure on the map that it actually allowed the Sicilian to scale. The Sicilian that was piloted by the player of the game for that particular game. And it was insane, right? Presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy. The debut pick. The last time it was picked up. Wait.
Untuk
I saved
winter
the
langgar tu.
contract
Season 12.
just for you guys.
Okay
Was it
team.
season 12?
Yeah, yeah.
Season
Thank you,
12.
thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna double check though.
Bigatron against
Yes.
Fnatic on it.
The last
Jangan
time it
lupa
was picked up,
subscribe
it was
dulu, ah.
picked up by Moreno as
Okay.
well in season 12, but they lost against Onyx in the playoffs.
Well, this time they won. That Sicilian, man, not even a Holy Crystal, but really seeing that with enough penetration, there's a lot of damage readily available with those bad impacts. And technically with the games being so skirmish heavy, Sicilian is an overlooked pick, but technically you have extra bits of kiting potential with the movement speed. You have the Bat Feast, the ultimate, to try and get some regeneration. And you have the claws, right? It can really help out in a big team fight, especially if your team isn't really stacked with crowd control. If you can maintain your distance, Sicilian can definitely have a great impact. The only time in that game where we saw Bigatron quite falter is when Brands was able to find a tiny window of opportunity and find a way to just dive straight towards Moreno and take him out. But here, let's take a look at the player of the game highlights by our official gold partner, UBS Gold. You have to give credit to Sorizo as well, being an absolute menace when it comes to dealing damage. And this is that early game fight. We're just talking about it. Like, why is it so devastating for Bigatron when they have a quote-unquote late game carry? And from that few initial skirmishes, they were able to just get so much more advantage, and the sieging game was just so difficult. See Clocker trying his best to clear the wave, do damage. Fluffy, as always, along with Brands, always looking for a chance to make the play, but you can see even Brands wasn't expecting that massive nuke. This was that final play here, where they were just back and forth.
This was the window
situations.
from Brands.
Exactly, this is where Brands here was able to find Moreno and go back to survive to speak off the tail.
Was that the Aegis that saved him?
Was
Definitely played a part in his survival right there. But afterwards, in this fight where Moreno could keep his distance, he's relatively protected. You can see Sorizo comes in out of nowhere, knowing he has the Vengeance, knowing that there's not a lot of DPS tools aside from Brands that can really spell doom for him. He just goes in all out. And the spammability of those spells are just insane, man. There have been a lot of big team fights where damage output have been so critical in deciding the victor of a game. And we have never mentioned the Sicilian. It was just so outdated.
yeah.
But now it's back. At least in the minds of the coaches, it's a potential pick.
Because the problem with the Sicilian was, despite the changes to the emblems, it was actually a hot topic, especially with the common emblem, because in the early game, the reason why it's so weak is not just because of the lack of damage, but the inability to spam the spells due to mana.
Yeah.
But I don't know what changed, because if we take a look at his emblem, he doesn't even use the common emblem, he uses the mage.
He has Demon Shoes.
Yeah, but even then, his mana usage is not as great in the early game, even with the mana shoes. That's why it was very valuable that the common emblem popped up when we were looking at that big patch when the emblems first came out. But there, He even went for Rupture. There was no... Oh, well, I guess he went for Impure Rage, and I guess that did help him.
The Impure Rage, especially with Cecilian's kit, you want to be building a lot of mana anyhow. Because the
Yeah.
Impure Rage technically will give you more mana, especially if you're on a Sicilian compared to other mages who don't have any built-in ways like the stacks to really get some more mana up. But I think it's also the way Moreno was playing it out. Occasionally he uses it to clear the waves, but he never spams it out except during a fight. Make sure that whenever he spams out that mana, he's using that mana intelligently, right?
Yeah.
Recognizing it as a resource that's limited. And as you can see, 86,000 damage dealt. That is a terrifying situation to be in, man. You're going for skirmishes and the Sicilian, which is always in the back, and you have no real way to threaten him. It should be Fluffy, in theory, to dive in the back line, but considering how Big and Alpha are positioning and their forward momentum, it was just too difficult.
And also, mind you, he was just hammering that bottom lane of the map, right? So, yes, Paquita was the answer, was an approach towards Moreno, but there was Chip.
The chip is just such a value pick right now, and Evos, they've usually been able to stave off the kind of global aggression, but this time Big and Alpha got the better of him, and you can see, despite a dip here, a valley here, there's no water, Eterna. This is not prime real estate in game number 3.
No, Bigatron don't care about water.
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 They're not thirsty.
They're
like
robots,
mountains.
you know, they were afraid of the short circuit.
Ah, yeah, because, you know, electricity.
Yes, machines, electricity. We'll have
Rust?
to see though. Rust?
Programmed to win.
No. You know,
Programmed to win, but not programmed to be waterproof, apparently, because Sean Alpha.
I'll be dreaming about bats tonight, ladies and gentlemen, if I was Brands.
I mean, there's still a point.
Right.
It's not all over yet.
Oh, yet?
Woo!
It's not over yet.
Okay.
It truly isn't, but we are going back. Well, we are still at match point, essentially, but... And, you know, Evil's their team, I don't think momentum is necessarily important for them. They've come back from even worse scenarios.
They were 9th.
They were 9th. It's not even 0 to hero, it's minus to hero.
Right. I think both these teams have that mental fortitude to really go through like a long, arduous best of 5, especially in these playoffs. So I really don't think that even at match point, you can kind of discount one of these teams, right? We just seen it earlier. Even though they're actually behind in that game, mentally at least they should be pressured. But no, they find these strategies, and turns out they still have an ace up their sleeves, which causes you to wonder, why hasn't it been shown earlier? And how many more does Coach Kessiut have at his disposal? Those
I
are
know
big
what he has.
sleeves he has.
I know what he has up his sleeve.
Oh, what is that? Slow reveal.
You may... Okay. Somebody took a class.
Oh no!
What?
Who
No way.
stole it?
But,
I
ladies and
found it.
gentlemen,
It's mine now.
Outplayed, Goni. You should have known better. All right,
Boom!
let's see it. Let's see it.
This is what the coach has up his sleeves, ladies
Wow.
and gentlemen. Gear up for the launch of Saturday's and MPL ID collaboration. Oh, that's a big zoom. I need to fix my hair a bit. On March 4th, this eyewear is a secret weapon for dominating the battlefield. Available at Saturdays.com and all of these Saturday stores. For more information, you guys can check out at Saturdays.lifestyle on Instagram as well as TikTok.
that's
I actually kind of like it.
it's a clean
What do you guys think?
shade.
Yay or nay?
Definite yay.
Yay for me. Can I try
Really?
it
You
out?
want to try it?
Yeah.
Sure.
That
Here.
sounds like bias, Goni.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Quickly.
There we go.
You know what rhymes with quickly? Samsung
Samsung
TV.
TV.
How do you know this? How does he know?
I know. You know?
Because he has the glasses. It's a buff.
It is a buff.
Is it giving you foresight into the future?
A little. And you guys, if you have an intense gaming session, right? But experiencing constant lag, you know what? Mobile gaming is better on TV. Winning the game with a FreeSync Premium Pro and Motion Accelerator Turbo Pro from Neo QLED, making movements smoother and preventing stuttering. Experience more wow in gaming.
So basically, if you're using a normal TV, if I were to wave my hand like this,
Yeah.
it would be like.
Little bit stutters, yes.
Stutter. But yeah.
But with Samsung, it's like this. Do you see it? Did you even see me wave? No?
No.
Stutter free, bro.
That's the speed of
the
Eternal's hands as
speed.
well. She's a kung fu
Can you
master.
do it
I
again?
am.
Wow.
There you go. You see it? So Riza waved his hand. Did you see? I bet you didn't.
No, you can't see me.
Because we're using the Samsung TV.
It's wow.
Wild.
It's
Oh,
just
wow.
a big wow. 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 Previous game recap though, that's a wow amount of damage coming out of Sorizo, right? Moreno of course was on top, that's no secret. But the fact that Sorizo was the second highest damage dealer, 10,000 gold damage difference only, shows again that in that game he was a bit underrated, overlooked on the EXP lane, keeping Fluffy in control. Fluffy on the Paquito, nonetheless. Something that he's usually really adept at doing. Sorizo was able to keep him under control, and Sorizo was also just so annoying in the backline. If Brands is a menace, if he can get right up next and close and personal to Marino, Sorizo is a menace when he can get up close and personal to Brands and Clocken right there. As you can see, if you look at the whole situation right there, the fact that the Carmilla was supposed to be a counter to the team fights really didn't work out the way Evos really wanted it to.
Absolutely not. He was just so sleek with it.
Sleek.
Yeah.
Slick.
He caught them off fine.
Yeah, I agree. I think he understands.
I'm mad at Goni now.
But go on, Goni, you were saying.
Yeah, I think we mentioned it earlier.
He's stunned.
Was what built that game in the early game with the gangs, with the shortcuts, with just crumbles, right? This man told Evos Glory early, and they don't have the time to recover. Almost, but not enough.
Not quite. Bigatron though, again, like you mentioned, Goni, did a great job just avoiding these obvious team fights. They were just very surprising with how they were approaching these fights. It's almost like they want to make sure that it's a pickoff. They never just go in for a fight. It's like they have a radar that detects how close Dreams is. When he's around, they're like, okay, no, don't play with him. Like kids on the playground. Don't play with Dreams. We want him around here. Once Dreams is gone though, everyone just has a good time from Bigatron. So we'll see if right now the chip will finally be respected, because for Evos that certainly was a big problem, a big wrench in the neat cogs of the Evos machine.
Let's see the adaptations coming through for the fourth game of this series, as we are moments away of entering the drafting phase. Colosseum beckons, and we'll see who will stay on the blue side. Will Evos opt for blue side once again, or are they content with red side? And the answer is they will go first pick. Ladies and gentlemen, presented to you by the official tournament smartphone and Samsung Galaxy, and the picks are rolling through.
Wow.
They mean business. Moskov, Alpha, and the Yuzong. These all are three power picks. Bigatron respond with very similar things here, with the Sicilian being picked up once again.
Signature picks all around the board. Moskov, Alpha, Yuzong. And yeah, we saw what Moreno did on that Sicilian. Seems like he wants to replicate that with the help of Kibaksha and the Roger. Second phase, wow, that was, yeah, you're right, quick. Novaria though, man, out. You know that what is currently lacking in Evos' composition is range, and they will deny the Novaria from Evos' hand.
Interesting. A Diggy though, showing up out of nowhere. What do they have planned here? Are they trying to go for something that could just destroying in like a big combo.
Bendy gila siya.
Could be something like an Atlas, you know,
Yeah.
a throwback. That is usually the pick that can be countered by a Diggy. But considering the stats, considering the history and the context right now, there's no way that Bigatron can preemptively expect that. So Minotaur is the closest thing.
Tigreal is
Ooh.
also a possibility, right? King of Tigreal is Dreams.
Let's hear from the
And
crowd.
Iggy is also a natural counter towards Tigreal.
And it's a pick that Key
Kecil
is
lagi
quite
kali.
comfortable in playing. So obviously,
Alpha.
CC banned away that backline threat that Chorizo had will be notified. The Eden
Alpha is
comes through
online.
for an extra bit of damage. It's a lot of
Iya
magical,
benar
spammable
bang.
damage right here, but not a lot of tankiness outside of the Baxia. Could be a dangerous situation for Evos, but with the Moskov and the Alpha and the Yuzong, there's a chance they're gonna go all out and just sink in their claws into Moreno in the back line.
So let's see here with the comfort picks. We really want to go for the Tiger. Oh, Valentina, he's hovered around. It's also yep, Tiger confirmed. And the Valentina. So a lot of purple heroes here inside of EVO's Glory in this game. Will Bigatron responded with.
It's like a throwback to the purple meta with the Tigreal, with the Valentina that has a chance to steal away the Primal Wrath. That is a lot of damage potentially coming out from the Valentina. But again, they're not all too tanky. They're still very combo-based, momentum-based in the big fights. For Bigatron, what would be this final pick here to seal the whole thing? Is it more tankiness? Is it more crowd control? It's both.
It's playmaking for Chorizo here. We're gonna see exactly how this works out, right? Because with the very
Confident
quick
Alpha.
Roger and Baxia pick that Alpha is gonna be able to counter it, and we've seen Annabelle be able to perform so well on the Alpha as a counter towards this Baxia, and we've seen it become a very big deterrent to not just Baxia players, but we've seen it against the Barretts. We've seen it against quite a few